I invoke the Prince of Coffee and Cabernet. Come to the kindred in our time of need. Jason Carl, Jason Carl, Jason Carl, Jason Carl, Jason Carl.
Good evening, and welcome to McStabber Studios, DC by Night, Vengeance Rates Chronicle. This will be episode 18. And of course, I am the storyteller, Shanky McStabber.
And I am Lynn, Shanky's wife. I play Lily Sanger, Regent of Clan Toreador in DC.
I'm Lance. I play Steve Parrott, the privileged twin of the claimants in DC.
I am Jim, Masquerade, Sheriff of DC.
I'm Katie. I play Locke, Clan Gangrel, and I am the Hound of DC.
And this week, we have another special guest, of course. We have Spectre Alafet playing, and you can introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Michelle, and I'm playing Natalie Bertrand, and I'm a Toreador.
And when we left,
Another Toreador.
No,
when we left last week,
terrible.
For a while there, it was North City, okay?
Yeah, seriously.
When we left off last week, we left on a slight cliffhanger. The Coterie had gone to the Baltimore Museum of Art, and they had, well, let's put it frankly, Courtemain ate Cassandra completely and fully. She has been diablerized by the Coterie. And then getting out of there, of course, turns out they were being watched. The whole place, it was a trap, but not the trap they expected. Cassandra was a bait that failed to use her powers and was destroyed. But getting out of there, they were tracked by a Tremere. And only the timely intervention, of course, of Grigory Markov, which is brother to Angelique, who owes a life boon because of them saving Ivan so long ago, his brother. So, it's those little consequences from long ago that come back to help.
And he tracked Lily, which is
and
totally
Grigory
flattering.
Tracked as well, using the same Tremere powers, and broke the ritual that was used against them, so that Jack and Grigory could lead Gino and his thugs on a merry goose chase, while an unexpected ally appeared to say, "Follow me and I'll lead you to safety." And that, of course, is our special guest, is that kindred.
Yeah.
So we're going to pick up right about there where, at this point, you're already back at her haven, at a condo. She's led you to a condo. You didn't have much time to talk because it was a lot of running to give time for Jack and Grigory to lead Gino and his thugs, because it was a number of them away. But at this point, you're now safe in a condo where all the little windows have been blacked out so that you don't have to worry about daylight. And you're with a kindred. It's an obvious kindred that you've not met before. The Lily caught a glimpse.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we're going to start our scene. And we will go right there with y'all gathered in. And some kindred that you just have a name of.
We don't have a name.
Yeah, she introduced her
she
way.
did.
She did introduce
She
her
did,
own
okay.
way.
And
We
we,
will go
of
that
course,
way.
introduce ourselves.
Yep.
So
there we go. We
Okay.
pick up right there. You guys hanging out in her haven.
And Lily takes even though she doesn't need to, she takes like a deep sighing breath, and she's like, "Thank you so much."
You do get a text. The whole Coterie gets a text from Sam because he's way out of range of the earpiece. Made it.
Okay. Then I respond to him, "We're safe. We'll be back in the city tomorrow."
No, did Sam get tracked?
Not that I saw. It was only to us.
Well, you wouldn't have seen it on him anyway. But that was the point of Sam is nobody knows
Nobody
Sam
knew him.
is a link to you guys.
Yeah.
And Sam came after Gino had already left the city.
Yeah. So doesn't know him.
As far as you know, Grigory said the ritual is broken. You're safe for tonight for sure. So we'll pick up there and y'all can do your introduction.
Okay, and with that, the phone, it reminds Lily to let Scott know.
It's close to dawn now.
Yeah, go on home. We'll be back tonight.
Okay. And he replies back, "Me and the boys will be ready to come."
Okay. And I say, "Thanks, darling." All right. And I literally am just profusely thankful.
Yes,
Natalie will make sure that you are made comfortable. It's a little overwhelming in that respect. She's very, tradition bound, so she will offer you chairs, she will offer you anything you want, but she's just making sure that you are, as her guest, made to feel comfortable. I apologize for the abrupt introduction, but I am Natalie Bertrand, and I am honored to have such illustrious guests visit me.
Thank you.
I'm certain
that.
Well, as I mentioned before, I am Lily Sanger. I am Primogen of Toreador in DC and owner of the Succubus Club there.
I will admit a little bird did tell me.
Oh, we do love our little birds, don't we?
We do.
I have all the chairs.
It's lonely. I don't like to be alone particularly, and I want you to feel comfortable. And my retainer is out making sure that we were not followed, at least in the more mundane sense. So, I'm certain you have questions for me, and I have questions for you.
Yeah. Why?
Yeah.
Why are you helping us? I mean, not that I'm also not grateful as well. Just I like to know who is, cashing in favors for whom. And that.
I admit it is a little bit of a selfish favor, but I am a big proponent of Clan Toreador. I don't know if that was not obvious or not. So when
Yeah. I was not guessing Gangrel.
no,
That's a club mark, furniture.
and I admit my nights have been a little more exciting than I would like them to be, but I never shirk at a way to help my fellow clan members and their guests, friends. So here you are.
Yes. Well, very good. Actually, I am of a similar mind when it comes to our clan, and I am working on rebuilding our status in DC.
That is excellent news, because I have been in DC, and I would like to start reclaiming some of what I was starting to build before. And admittedly, the nights here have become a little more exciting than I would like them to be.
Yes, I've heard that there's been a newcomer to the city that's been causing some problems.
Yes, and I only know him as the prefect, but he has been slowly crushing the local anarch baronies. I swear, I know how to speak English, but I was born in Montreal, so my words get a little muddled.
That's okay. But yes, we've heard the same thing, that he is basically making them either, submit or face final death.
What's he calling himself?
The prefect.
The prefect, yeah.
Prefect.
I imagine he is using the more stylish Latin version with the A.
You being your past of SCA and everything, you recognize the word. It's an old Roman word. It is the one who lords over or administers over an area, a town, a subject. That is a definite Roman link, especially called prefect, not prefect, which is the more common British version now. You've heard that in LARP. That was, not your era you LARP, or not LARP, sorry, SCA, not your era, but you do know what it was because you've heard the term for sure.
So he's not calling himself a prince, but yet using the title.
I mean, names have power. It's
Indeed.
and the anarchs don't respect princes anyway.
Right. Oh no, it's quite politically astute. I've never denied that he has that.
Except for the whole submit or find a death part. That's not as. That's just.
Well, that's just the way he is. He's a dictator. But yes. So okay, well, it is interesting to find out that he got run out of DC and now he's here.
Should I be concerned, since you seem to know who our local marauder is?
Yeah, I would recommend, if you have interests in DC, you may wish to relocate there.
So then my suspicions are confirmed.
Yeah.
Which brings me to my not so subtle request for my hospitality. I would like to be reintroduced to society back in DC. It seems time.
Well, that's easy. That's like my job is making grow up.
And I would be happy to be a sponsor. So,
Excellent.
yes.
Yeah.
Then you have found my nefarious plan. Hospitality for a favor, which is very Toreador, I have to admit.
Yes. Go ahead, Coterie.
Lock?
What?
Whose job?
Well, I mean, I'm supposed to do it too. Like, you can do it if you can go if you want. I have duties.
Would my knowledge of the Camarilla, my specialty on that, allow me to know who is who? And
You've heard rumors about the Hound is a gangrel, the
Okay.
Sheriff is a Nosferatu, and you do know the rumors say that they are closely bound with the Toreador Primogen, and of all things, which you're still not sure you believe, a Kaitif has been named Primogen, which you're
Right.
still not sure about. You believe those rumors, but that's what you've heard, that they're all closely linked.
So then I would be able to suss out that this is most likely the Sheriff and the
Yes.
Hound, and
Yes.
which one of them was supposed to be.
Because they're
presenting me.
supposedly the same coterie. Vampires understand the coterie, that
Right,
a
exactly.
whole coterie is where those positions were filled from,
Yeah.
which is odd even amongst kindred.
Yeah,
But you know of them.
it's almost unsafe, but yeah.
Sorry, Quartermain, if you want to take her, it's fine.
And I do look and say, Quartermain is our sheriff in DC.
Yeah.
I was beginning to suspect that. They said that the local power had been consolidated into one coterie, which is either very brave of the prince or very, very stupid.
It could go either way with our prince.
And most of your info, by the way, did come from Angelique.
Yeah.
Ah, yes. Well, it's good to see that Angelique still knows something.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Are you friends with her?
No, not necessarily friends, but
And she is
not against each other per se.
she is a bit of a handful, but I admit we're both prima ballerinas, so
Yeah.
there was always going to be tension.
Well, and yes, and she is definitely one that tends to run a little hot-headed at times. So
I have heard that, but I haven't spent a whole lot of time with her, so it's always vaguely competitive.
oh, of course, should be fun to watch.
I'm obligated to say that I am obviously the better dancer.
Oh, of course,
Of course.
of course.
So y'all can finish your scene and tell me when y'all. I mean, if y'all covered everything you need to talk about, y'all we can.
Yeah, because it should be getting
prowl
close to
around the haven a little bit and just. She's obviously like checking out the perimeter.
It's obvious this haven isn't used often. It's blacked out. It's a condo in a quiet building full of based on the lack of noise in the building, full of older retiree type people. But it's obvious she doesn't use it often. It's not dusty or anything, but you can tell by just the layout, the lack of everything, that it's an emergency bolt hole that's not actively used often.
It's not dusty because of money, not dusty because I'm here a lot.
Yeah, it's not dusty probably because of money, and well, I mean, you're a Toreador. You're not gonna live in a dusty ass haven.
No, it's lovely. It's
Dust
lovely.
can't get in the room if you close up the way that dust would get into the inside the apartment or in the condo. I mean, if you're not in there that often and all the doors are sealed and closed and you can't get any air in, there's not much dust to gather in there. Dust comes from people.
Well, eventually she will settle down in the corner and play her Bill Nye Science Guy until she passes out.
Science guy.
Okay,
That's adorable. I can't.
isn't it cute? I love it. It's such a great program for children.
Locke was a 6th grade dropout, so
I know.
she's
It's
catching up.
so great. I love it.
Does anybody check the news before they go to sleep?
I am going to check the news.
Yeah, we should do that.
The news has a number of things are on right now, especially when you go into some of the late night news channels. An incident at the Baltimore Museum of Art during the Jazz Festival. They're kind of vague what the incident was, but it was evacuated, and at this time, one person is reported as a casualty.
The guard.
But there's no statement about why, how. Just there's one fatality, number of injuries, and local police are investigating. But there's no real. It's a vague details about what might or might not have happened. You all recognize the signs. You know exactly when somebody's playing filter over media.
I wonder if Karina had a hand in this.
She must
reached
be
that
watching
far.
out for it.
With her hands in national organizations, she may.
She may.
Yeah,
She knew where we were going.
she knew where we were going. Yep.
She knew what we were doing,
Yep.
and she knows us.
Yep. So she might have called in some favors to clean it up.
It was probably preemptive favors, where she's like, you know what? If anything happens in Baltimore, it didn't.
Exactly.
What will that cost?
Considering she owes us, hopefully nothing.
Hey, it was not. The prince ordered this, so
Yeah.
she's doing her job.
But they didn't order her to help. It's
Yeah.
different.
If
But
she tries to call that and say, you know
yeah,
what,
y'all can debate that one with her.
I'll negotiate.
Yeah, I think I'll negotiate that one.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
There
and
you go.
I look at Natalie and say, Natalie, thank you so much for offering your haven to us this evening. And when we rouse, we would be happy to escort you back to DC if you would like.
I would appreciate that, although I did have a question because, of course, I was so eager to lend my hand. Do I need to worry about anything else that might be coming after us? Because I have some ability to preempt it.
Not that I'm aware of. They obviously were utilizing Tremere to track us, but our friend that you saw us speaking to, the tall blonde gentleman,
He was vaguely familiar,
Yeah,
Natalie, to you, but you don't know from where. But you've seen him before.
and I look and say, that's actually one of Angelique's brothers.
Oh!
And that's where you remember him from. He was, you've seen him as bodyguard to Angelique before.
He was able to break that tracking,
Oh, okay.
and him and our other friend are leading them on a goose chase for the night.
Yeah, so.
So I don't believe we are at risk for being discovered.
You just have to worry about how you don't know how long the break is going to hold up.
Right.
Eventually, they'll be able to put a new track on you if you're in the city.
Right.
If you're not in the city,
They
it
won't
has
be
a
able to
range
track us.
limitation. It's not like they can track you.
Right.
anywhere
It's
in
just
the
I
world.
really believe that if you can, before turning in for the day, get your things together that you need to get together, because we need to leave as soon as we rouse.
I understand. I have a haven still in DC that I can retreat to.
Oh,
there, so I'm not
fantastic.
particularly
It's actually
worried.
just right outside DC because you didn't step in the city because you weren't
Yeah.
part of their domain. But it's
Yeah.
right outside
Exactly.
the city for sure.
Okay,
Right.
fantastic. So we will need to leave immediately. when we
One of the
rouse.
many independent kindred you've heard of that live in that land between Baltimore and DC, where there's a lot more kindred than people realize a lot of times. Because Locke even found Rudy there at one point, that lives in the independence parts where they're not part of either group. They just lay low and or hide out.
Do their own thing.
Yep.
Okay. So with that,
Excellent.
I'm pretty much done. And
I'll text Lucian to keep me updated on my phone whether or not I'm awake. Doesn't matter. Just so when I wake up, I have some idea what's going on before we leave.
The reply is, of course, that it's all clear right now.
Excellent. And then I'll turn it as well, as long as anybody else doesn't have any questions for me.
I just put my hand on Steve and I say, Steve, what you're feeling right now will fade by the time you
course.
wake. So
Yes.
It's already starting to fade now
Good.
because of what it was applied to him. You're feeling it's at the edge of.
okay.
You're starting to realize that your feelings for Lily at the moment.
Are starting to fade.
Your mad love for her, which manifests oddly in Steve because, of course, you lack humanity. So
It was almost obsession.
no, it's a different kind of for Steve. Knowing Steve's personality,
Or
it's more must protect.
Mhm.
At all costs, must not
Mhm.
must not allow you to be done to you what's been done to him in a lot of ways. Because I can see that's how it would manifest with
Mhm.
Steve.
Yeah.
But I am glad that it worked.
So,
Okay, good.
Yeah, because Cassandra called him her lover, just to fuck with you.
but it didn't.
And as day settles, the kindred fall asleep into a dreamless sleep. Even you, Steve, no hint of anything in your dreams. Nothing. And when you wake up, of course, we need to rouse from everybody, but as the sun sets and you wake from your slumber, you do notice, oddly enough, Steve, your ring isn't even cold of death. You don't even have that feeling this far from the city.
Huh.
It's a very odd feeling. Yep.
No.
But your Oblivion sight did work.
Yeah.
Even though the ring's not the coldness of death.
Can we erase the willpower we used yet, or is this for next session?
Nope.
Okay.
I've been
Nope.
run through all the way to
All
the end of the day.
All right.
Yep, you burned off a number of your willpower, so you're hurting now.
Yeah.
What do you got left?
I have one left.
One left. Wow, Steve. That shows you how much willpower was used in this other session.
Yeah, it was a lot
on
of
the edge there.
Because I don't give them back until we count as one giant session for terms of the willpower, since I give you all your willpower back at the start. So
Okay.
we can always bring that up for discussion if people want after the session, that you do the actual willpower rules between sessions instead of all of them back at once. But
That's fine.
it's a wash in the end, I think. So there we go. And now with the sun coming up or sun going down, everybody rolled their rouse check. Who got hungrier?
I did.
So you're at what?
2.
2? What about you, Quartermain? You went up to 2? Okay.
Yeah.
There's no beast talking for your waking rouse, unfortunately, because I can't wait to
To
talk
play
with
Cassandra.
to fake Quartermain's beast. She was quiet when he gained the hunger obfuscating. That's because they're still,
Duking it out.
no, it's not duking it out, but it's still a settling in period. But that's going to be a fun little bit of beast.
I got hungrier.
Okay, so you're at 2 now.
Yep.
So with sunset, you wake up and you all rouse from your slumber about the same time. And the news is, I know everyone checks the news and everything immediately, want to find out what happened. The news says that the fatality right now is being linked to somebody got trampled during the stampede, and that as far as what everyone can tell is there was a fire alarm in the building, and that's what triggered the alarms to evacuate everybody. And fire marshals investigating what caused it to go off, and it sounds like they're looking into it, but it's definitely a cover up of some kind, because you know for a fact that man was not trampled.
No.
You know how you've been told basically what happened. And Lily, as soon as you come to, you've already got a text that says, "Ma'am, where can we get you?"
And I say, can I send the address to my driver?
Natalie goes, this place is practically burnt anyways. Doesn't
Okay.
matter.
Okay, so I go ahead and send the address.
And Lucius has sent you that everything's good. Everything was quiet all night. Nothing
Okay.
out of the ordinary. It looks like y'all got away
Right.
scot free.
I'll tell him we're probably putting this haven up for sale in the morning.
So, Locke, you keeping your new car?
Oh, it's probably hot.
Oh yeah, it's hot.
It's hot. Oh man.
One that Jack
I know I
got
want a
it.
car.
Yeah, Jack's in it right now, but he may bring it back to DC, and then Locke will be wanting to have a car.
Change out the VIN.
I'm sure somebody in town could do that.
Yeah, don't worry. There are things
There are
we
chop
can do.
shops. Yeah.
There are things we can do.
Quartermain knows a guy.
Yeah, he knows a guy.
And I know criminals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
We should have enough influence and connections between us to get that done.
Absolutely.
So, what is your plan?
You can have a raggedy ass shit green Plymouth. Sure, no problem.
Okay, so
Better than what Glenn drives.
Yeah.
At least this one has a muffler attached.
okay, so now this is the 11th, and I do let Natalie know that being that it's Wednesday night, one of our clan is putting on a special performance this evening in DC. He's actually a stage magician.
Interesting.
Would you like to accompany me to the show?
I would love to.
Okay.
It's been a while since I've had any real culture.
So the guards are en route.
Okay.
You've got a little bit of time to kill, but if anyone wants to do anything beforehand, go and talk, figure out your plans. Hope you can get out of the city. Hopefully, you're not still being looked for. But of course, at this point, they'd have to know where to look from the beginning, and hopefully they don't track you.
Can we catch the late innings of the Orioles game?
Yeah, well, I mean, you could. You could.
I went to a baseball game.
I text Raphael, say 2 for this evening.
You get a reply. No problem. Show starts at 10.
Perfect. We may be a little late, but we'll try to be on time.
I want to hit up my Malwa and get the lay of the land out here. I just want them to give me information so that I know how much danger we're going to be in trying to get back to DC and where everything left off up here.
Real quick. Switch glasses here. My reading lessons make me read already. Damn, I have to read.
She's making
I-
you use that character.
I'm sorry. I'm a skill monkey. I'm not really a power monkey.
Everyone has their own thing.
That's
to do,
awesome,
you
though.
know?
Make him work.
Oh no,
Well, it's not really a mala. Remember, because yours isn't really a mala. It's actually a number of
I have
other
enough
clans.
charisma.
But they're the kinds that might have heard the word on the street.
Right.
And especially what you consider your little group to be, they definitely have to have their ears to the word on the kindred rumor mill because they're in danger if it gets too out of control. Word on the street from the kindred point of view is that the prefect is very upset. And he's looking to find individuals right now. And he's let it be known that if anyone brings them to him, they will be well rewarded with favor.
Okay. I will hold on to that thought for the time being, but in the meantime, I will also tell them that I am returning to my haven just outside DC. Because I still need them.
Yep. They're laying low like, you browbeat them into. But they'll come when you call them.
Yeah, I will offer them any, assistance that doesn't require me to show up.
That is on brand.
I love it.
So the plan is, it's sounding like there's people looking. You just got to get out without being seen.
Yeah.
Dara, of course, from what your
probably
contacts were
it's a
saying,
garage or
there's
something.
he doesn't have a description of what to look for. It's just saying if you see any kindred you're not used to seeing in your area.
Mm-hmm.
Natalie will actually share what she found out from her browbeaten other vampires.
Yeah. You don't say where you got it from. You just say your contact. Yeah.
Interesting. Oh, I think we might have ruffled his feathers. We foiled his plan. I love it.
I would recommend, though.
Locke will go into the bathroom, and she's going to cut her hair again.
Okay. Cut it right back down. And Lily's hair
It's still red.
is still red for some reason. And you know that it should have changed black to black and white if black and white was her natural color. But you also know it should have been black and white or it should be red anyway if that was her color. There's an oddity about Lily's hair not changing color at the moment. Because as long as you've known it's been black and white.
Say what?
Actually, we know each other back out. It was in black and white back out in...
Yeah, it was black and white when you met her.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, Locke cuts... And you're still on the place, right? She fucking leaves it.
They're in the sink and all.
Oh my god! She's a great girl.
Natalie makes a face because it's messy, but
It'll turn to ash. Don't worry about it.
I know.
It will. It will.
You find it odd about all of y'all find it odd about Lily's hair because it's not behaving what you would have expected as a kindred.
So,
I mean, she's
Quartermain,
a
will you escort her to the prince when we get back to the city?
Somebody talking to me? What?
Yes, I asked if you would escort her to the prince when you go back to the city.
Yes,
Locke wants to.
Locke wants to. Okay.
you wanted to so bad, but I'm perfectly fine with doing my job and taking her back.
Okay. Perfect.
Wow. Okay, you can get snarky. That's fine.
Okay. While y'all are dealing with your, employee boss drama,
Maybe I'll get Victoria to do it.
You'll have to take
she's
her
busy,
off.
she's already busy babysitting one.
You'll have to hope that she's back from the prince before 10.
Well,
Because
I told him we might
maybe
be
a few
late.
minutes late. That's
Mhm.
correct.
So I just say, whoever takes her, just bring her back by the club when you're done because we do have a show to go to.
If she comes out of the meeting, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right, as long as I don't die. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll be fine, darling. You're perfectly charming.
I will recommend though, that we leave as fast as possible because there is a bounty, and while I am perfectly confident in my ability to hide you briefly, not perfectly confident.
I have a driver en route. He should be here. At this point, it's probably been at least 30, 40
Yeah.
minutes. He should be here within 10 to 20 minutes.
You get a text saying we're almost there.
Okay. And I say,
is what's said in it.
okay.
For sure.
I say, perfect. And I said, my guys are almost here.
And
I'll
yes,
take Luke
when
into
they
the
arrive
haven.
there, you get two full Cadillac Escalades.
Oh,
of
perfect.
your ghouls.
Perfect.
Thomas and Ian in one,
Perfect.
Scott and Jeff in the other.
Okay.
Bam. The whole band's here.
All right.
And they're all armed.
Good. And I basically I say those of us going back to the club need to ride with Thomas and Ian. Those of us going to see the Prince need to ride with Scott.
And Scott, as soon as they pull up, Scott's like, "Ma'am, I'm sorry I had to leave, but
No, it's fine.
that was
It's fine.
I know what I was seeing,
It's
and
fine.
I was made.
That's fine.
If I hadn't left when I did, they might have moved on me in the vehicle, and I don't know what
You're
would
fine.
happen.
You're fine. You did the right thing.
Most
just-
flat.
I am very
It's just-
I am very proud of you. I am fine.
Thomas is like, "Okay, I won't put the reprimand in your record after all."
And I said, Thomas, he left on my order.
Yes, ma'am, but my orders was telling him not to leave you.
I understand.
I
My
understand. We
orders
won't-
do
I
supersede.
won't put a reprimand in his record.
Good to see I'm not the only one who has these problems.
Yes.
And you guys hop into vehicles to ride back to DC.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's actually pretty easy, in the vehicles. Everyone roll wits awareness first. So I can see if y'all, let's see if anyone notices some weird shit following it. I'm gonna roll for the driver. Ooh, damn, that's good.
I got 4.
4 for you.
Yep.
2 for Steve Perry. Yeah, Steve Perry don't notice much.
5.
5, that's pretty good. 4.
4.
And then Big Daddy watch everything, sees all.
5 with a messy crit.
Okay, I don't think I can. Let me think. I can think of a few things I could do with messy crit on the. Let me see.
You can be mean to me.
Wow.
So, Quarterman, are you and Locke and Natalie all in one vehicle?
Yes.
Okay.
See, I don't like messy crits and on passive skills
Mhm.
because it's a passive check. It's not an active
Is
check.
that something
I
you're
don't
going to
like
go
using
lunch on something?
Right, I don't like using. So, you pretty sure you're not being followed. You did notice coming out of the city a lot of those vehicles that you saw. The old Crown Vics and Lincolns, a lot of them. But none of them seem to be paying attention to you. They didn't follow you or anything, but they seem to be up and down the side streets as you guys were leaving. Like somebody's got a gang of people looking for you, a number of them. But you seem to have gotten clear of the city pretty well on your own. You seem to have broken out of it, and you're heading back to more familiar territory. Of course, you go through suburbs of Baltimore and into the suburbs of Maryland, into the DC area. And as you come into
Oh my
the city,
God, we got to drive through Prince George's.
yes,
Yeah.
you do.
Yeah, we do.
Oh my God. that's the
Word.
word.
And as you arrive in DC, of course, you're back in familiar territory. Feel a little safer, I think, now that you're in your home territory.
I took Saba.
Okay, what do you text?
Hey, you up?
Of course.
1. Still kicking. Smiley face.
Coolies.
Second thing. Jack seems cool. Hired him.
Good idea. Good man.
Third thing is dog? Question mark?
Tomorrow.
Yay! Happy faces.
UOBL.
What?
UOBL.
I know.
I send a text to Waylon.
Okay.
Break a leg tonight. I'll see you soon.
He sends back an emote of a rose.
Oh, how cute.
No eggplant?
No, he can't. He knows better.
It's not that kind of relationship.
The only time he uses seduction is to feed, and he's not going to feed off Lily right now because he's bound all to hell by her.
One more and he's locked down.
So when you get back to DC, of course, Lily, the whole ride back, the guards were asking what happened, and I know you're feeling what you can.
What I can.
You can feel, Steve, when you reach her range. It's right about Oxon Hill range distance, that kind of far away when the ring goes cold on your finger.
Okay, so it's well outside our.
Yeah.
Our domain.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
outside your domain when the ring goes cold. No voice, no speaking, but you feel the ring just start to get cold all of a sudden
Okay.
as you're riding back into town.
And I feel that's like, I just think to I'm back. I made it.
But no, she doesn't talk to you.
Mhm.
And you ride back at the Succubus Club, all in one piece.
Yep, and they are heading to the Prince.
They're going to head to the Prince.
Mhm.
And, of course, you know how to get to the Prince. You know the location. And when you get to the Prince's down below the Washington Conference Center, which is pretty hilarious, that's still where he's set up. You get there and, of course, park in that lower garage area. And when you get down to the lower garage area, of course, you go through the entry door. And the guard that's sitting there, he looks at Locke and Quartermain and then looks at Natalie. She allowed?
We're going to introduce her.
And he nods to
Why?
the door. He's just
Why?
checking. I'm just checking.
Okay.
I haven't seen her. She's not
Okay.
one I've been told.
And Natalie will ask, am I invited in? Is it okay? Because I definitely don't want to step on anyone's toes.
Yeah, you're fine.
You're invited in. I'm just making sure that you're okay. If they had said you were not, you weren't getting in the elevator.
Oh, good. And then I'm glad I am okay.
Thanks, Bob.
And when you go and get in the elevator, there's, again, no buttons, no choices. You get in, and it opens, you get in, you go down. You still don't know how it's being controlled because the guard at the desk don't have any buttons.
Okay.
But it rides down, and you enter into what can only be described as an antechamber. It's a big, like a sitting room, but it's more of a formal waiting area in a lot of ways. Very
Is
nice.
Glenn there?
No Glenn. There's a human you don't recognize. Very old-looking human, as a matter of fact. You'd guess 70, 80 years old. But he doesn't carry himself like a 70 or 80-year-old. He's standing right beside the door when the elevator opens, leading to the Prince.
Okay.
Good evening.
And you are...
I am Amos.
Say that again, Bill.
Amos. I am the Prince's manservant.
You're a moose. Okay.
Not a moose. Not a moose. Amos.
Okay.
It's an odd accent. You don't place it.
Natalie will incline her head. Pleasure to meet you, Amos.
How's it
Is
spelled?
he
Do you want to run six of these?
Amoose?
A-M.
U.S.?
A-M-O-S-E.
I was close.
You were. The Prince is in his office.
Thank you.
And he's very stiffly formal. Seems odd. You don't seem to blink enough to you. Very odd.
Well, considering we don't blink, period.
Exactly.
Well, most kindred blink only out of reflex.
Reflex.
The older a kindred gets, of course.
The less they
Sybil probably would never blink. If you saw her awake, she would not blink at all. Because of the age. It's very weird. The elders, you've been told, start acting more and more like statues when not in motion because they forget all the little ticks that make you look human. And of course, he opens the door and once again, there's Stanford on his chair. You don't know if he ever leaves that chair. And he looks.
He might be glued to it.
He looks. Good evening, Sheriff. Good evening, Hound.
I'll make a little
And
curtsy.
he hands his ring out and holds his hand with his ring out in front of everybody.
I'll get on it.
Okay, because remember the rule. When you're alone, it's informal. But you brought somebody that wasn't normal here. Do you kiss the ring, Natalie?
Of course. I'm not going to be impolite.
See?
It's very difficult for you to kiss it, of course, even though you know the structure of power. This is an Nosferatu, and you can feel it. It's not what you want to do. But you've been around long enough that you know.
But my specialty is Camarilla politics. We're not
know
about to
the
be
rules.
impolite.
And then the prince goes, so, Sheriff, how did it go?
She is dead.
So it is confirmed she was there.
Yes, she was there. She was bait.
Excuse me. So it was a trial.
Yeah. Yeah.
So is Jack still alive?
Jack is still alive.
Was he
Grigori
part of the
came and
trap?
helped out. But Vital was waiting for us
Well,
with Gino
stop.
and some of his.
Vital.
Yeah, because Gino was there.
Was Jack part of the trap?
No. Jack's fine. Jack's good.
But
We're
Vital.
okay with Jack. Yes, Vital.
You were sure it's Vital is there?
Gino was there. It has to be Vital.
I will.
And there are rumors going around that he is bringing all the barons under his sway.
I will raise my finger in a polite hi. I can add to this kind of.
Yes, she has information as well.
Please speak.
Thank you, Your Majesty. I have been living there for a little while at this point, and there is someone who is calling himself the prefect. And from what your loyal friends here have told me, it would fit that it is Vital. I have some experience with him myself.
I had hoped that we were through with him. So he is set up in Baltimore, the city that's always been in opposition to DC when it comes to kindred politics. Interesting. And you say he has Gino, and he's gobbling up baronies.
Yeah.
So he seeks to challenge my rule, perhaps. So he walked away from the city. That is troubling news, but I thank you for it. That is worth quite a bit. And you, young kindred, who may you be?
My name is Natalie Bertrand. I am quite obviously a Toreador. I did come to DC in about 2010, but I had to leave for Vital reasons.
That's a common statement I've heard.
True.
And what is your part in all of this?
I happened to see your hound and sheriff and the Primogen Lily Sanger in some difficulty, and I offered them sanctuary last night. It was no trouble.
And what do you wish from my city?
I would like to be reintroduced to DC society. As I stated, there is someone amongst the Anarch barony who is demanding that they submit or die, and it would fit with the description of Vital. And given that my original problem was with Vital, I would like to, again, not be around him.
Locke and Quartermain, do either of you speak for this kindred?
Lily
I actually think Lily's vouching for her.
Lily has offered to vouch for her. But if you need one of us to vouch for her, then I will vouch for her.
You have leave to stay in my city. But you and I, Natalie, shall talk. I wish to pick your brain about what you know.
I'm always happy to be of service
Vital
to the Camarilla.
But we will speak on another night. I have other engagements tonight. But I do thank you, Quartermain, Locke, and Natalie for your role in showing that my justice does not end at the city. It sends a powerful message to other kindred that you don't flaunt my rule and think you can get away. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Small curtsy.
Is there any other information?
Can't think of anything.
I do possess a small public relations firm. If it is ever of use to you, I'm happy to offer its services. Although I don't know what you might need it for. Publicity is an interesting tool.
Very well. I'll make a note. Now, if Natalie, if you and Locke will excuse me, I must speak with Quartermain a minute.
Absolutely.
Please return to a most outside.
Natalie is very happy to GTFO.
And when Locke and Natalie leave the room, Stanford looks at Quartermain. Quartermain, have you heard from Glenn lately?
No, as a matter of fact, I was going to ask about that. Because I tried to contact him last night and I got an undeliverable.
Yes, he left here the other night. Now that, of course, some of my former assistants have started to arrive in town. I sent him off of guard duty, and I haven't heard from him since shortly after that, and I'm curious. If you see him, tell him I'm looking for him.
I will try to track him down, boss.
Thank you.
Just so you know, because somebody will see it at some point. I ate Cassandra.
So, young Nos, how did it taste?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
I knew there was a killer in there somewhere.
Can't say I can describe it in any words that I have at the moment.
We'll make you a true Nos one day, a killer like the rest of us, for sure. Well, then I know for sure she's dead if she won't be coming back.
Yeah.
Very well. Well done.
But somebody will see it at some point. I have no doubt.
Very well. Nicely done. You do know, of course, what the fact that Art came to me to tell me about Jack, correct?
I had heard that Art was the one who introduced him. Yes.
Do you understand the significance of that? A new kindred enters the city, and instead of Art being Art, he immediately
straight to you.
comes to the prince as keeper to announce a new kindred in the city. He is definitely becoming who I think he should have been a while ago. Such a wonderful event. He will be a use for us all. But just in case you don't realize it, he's still Gangrel. His brother left the Camarilla. So be wary.
Sure you're not playing with fire?
There's only one way to do it, my boy. You must take risks. Nathan knew it. I know it. You'll know it in time. You can't win if you don't take risks. And I think I've got him under control, at least. For now.
All right.
If nothing else, the way he was, I could not predict what he would do. But the way he is now, at least I understand his motivations. A lot easier to guess.
Yeah, we'll see. So
Jack has permission to return to the city and seek refuge in my domain for his assistance.
I'll let him know that. Locke will be happy.
So watch him.
Locke's got him under control. He wants his old position at the bar back. So.
Interesting. That's a good place for him where he can be watched to make sure that he's not like the Bruja that were removed prior to some of the ugliness.
Yeah.
Very well. Very well. Good, good. Well, thank you for bringing me this tonight right away.
Yeah. By the way, we were I'll describe what happened as far as I know, just the small details before I leave about the Tremere tracking and all that jazz.
Okay.
So that he's aware of it. And,
so, do you tell him Grigori helped you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
Got no reason not to.
Yeah. Interesting. How did
him and his brother say they owe us a blood debt? So
I can understand. But how did they know? What contacts does he still have in DC? And can we use them? If he's got that kind of knowledge in DC, perhaps he might be able to get more on Vitel. Baltimore. He might be able to get more on Vitel from us.
Yeah, perhaps.
And it's obvious Gino now has a Tremere working with him.
Yeah.
I'll talk to the Pontifex about that.
Do we have any NOS up there?
Oh, there's NOS everywhere.
I know, but do we know of any specifically?
I don't
we can enlist.
I don't, but I know who might know. I'll do some
Who's it?
inquiries,
Okay.
and I'll let you know.
Do you
All right.
tell them about the bounty on us?
Well, on new individuals. They don't know exactly if it was us.
Yeah, I'll give him that piece of information.
So you pissed him off, huh?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's pretty sure. I think based on what he said at the memorial that night when he, what is it Locke likes to say?
Flounce.
Flounced. He flounced. He's pretty sure he knows who's involved. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's bullseyes on our backs.
If he used Cassandra as bait, there's a problem. It was too easy. He should have been better prepared for the ambush if that was the bait. He's playing a different game here. We got to figure
Okay.
out what it is. Because you should not have been able to, if he knew and was using her, you should not have been able to get in and out of there. But you did.
Well, we had, between Lily and Sam and,
You took the doctor. Interesting.
that was Lily's idea. Yeah.
Interesting. I was under the impression he was mostly useless.
Lily had her locked down for as far as presence was concerned. So
we must find out what Vitel's game is, because this does not fit his pattern. He's smarter than this. He knows the game too well. You should not have been able to get out of there. If Cassandra
maybe
was the bait,
maybe it's just a test.
Perhaps to see the
Maybe he was
response, or to
Just
see
feeling us out.
But he sacrificed a piece to do it, and the only
Yeah.
reason you would sacrifice a piece is if you thought you could gain more by losing it than keeping it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, thank you, Quartermain. We shall speak again on this soon. But I do have other business tonight, other people I must meet.
Okay.
So I shall see you
okay.
on another night.
All right. Have a good night.
With that, you exit the room and go back out. And of course, Natalie and Locke are waiting. And I assume you return to the car?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you're heading back. You were told to drop her off at the club, of course. Natalie afterwards, and then y'all can go your way. And at this point, we're going to take a break real quick, and we'll be back in 10 minutes because we need to have a break here real fast. So I'll see everybody in 10 minutes.
Great.
Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. I've always been the hunter, nothing on my tail. But there was something in you I knew could make that change. To capture a predator, you can't remain the prey. You have to become an equal in every way. So look in the mirror and tell me, who do you see? Is it still you? Or is it me? Become the beast. We don't have to hide. Do I terrify you? Or do you feel alive? Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you? Or do you feel alive? Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. So embrace the darkness, and I will help you see that you can be limitless and fearless if you follow me. We are the lions in a world of lies. We are the predators, the hunters, the hunters, the hunters. Become the beast, we don't have to hide. Do I terrify you? Do you feel alive? Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you? Or do you feel alive? Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin to burrow within. Do you burrow within? Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you? Or do you feel alive?
I invoke the Prince of Coffee and Cabernet. Come to the kindred in our time of need. Jason Carl, Jason Carl, Jason Carl, Jason Carl, Jason
introduce myself, though I fear you've heard my name, that you've heard the story of Countess Bathory. History is told by the victors, heroic warriors, and mad kings. Will you hear my story from the lips of Bathory? They call me Blood-sucking demon, queen of hell, sadistic killer, a monster tale, bathing in the blood of virgins, beautiful, drinking the blood of virgins, beautiful, the blood countess. Who is she really? Who is she really? Blood countess. Who is she really? Is your blood Bathory? I was very wealthy and powerful, a widow with political rivals keen to destroy me and take my property. My plea was never offered, all my confessors were all tortured, or how they destroyed me for my property. They put me up, shut me up, shut me up, put me up, put me up, shut me up, shut me up, and told a story of a bitch called Bathory, blood-sucking demon, queen of hell, sadistic killer, a monster tale, bathing in the blood of virgins, beautiful, drinking the blood of virgins, beautiful, the blood countess. Who is she really? Who is she really? Blood countess. Who is she really? Is your blood Bathory?
And we're back from break. There we go. We had to do a little break. Players needed one.
Yeah.
You know, so it worked out. We're going to continue from there. And where we left off, of course, was Locke and Quartermain were riding back from meeting the prince. Now, Steve and Lily have been at the club for the whole time. So, did you guys want to talk some stuff over
Well,
while
before
Locke
we
and-
do, I just say I need to go get changed.
And,
And, and so I go get changed.
Okay, and now y'all can. What are you doing?
and I have a new project.
Yeah.
I have a note from last time, which is to install a mic
Okay.
in the conference
Yeah.
room that goes to Lily's office.
No, my quarters.
Your quarters.
My quarters.
Yeah, for quarters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I wrote it down as your
Yep.
office. Okay.
Nope.
No,
Quarters.
quarters. So you're going to plan that out. But now that you're back, y'all need to talk. Anything else should change?
Yeah, we are going to be
discuss
discussing
about
that,
what happened.
and I'm going to review those details with you about what I'm looking for, and that don't worry about setting up any system for it. I have that already handled. I have a security,
She's going to talk to an IT security firm
an IT security firm handling it for me.
Oh, I saw.
to build a very intricate,
Who?
very, very intricate, wipe it, that
Yeah,
kind of thing. You
It's
know?
very intricate, so that if it even gets touched, it's white.
She's been watching Shark Tank. She wants to get the Hershevik group
Yeah.
to build her something, you know?
Yeah.
You know?
I'm hurt.
I'm sorry, but I have to watch that nobody knows how to deal with it.
No, understood.
Yeah.
So if y'all have anything else to discuss tonight,
So last night.
Yeah, wow, that was fun.
That was
fun.
harrowing. But it was fun.
Well, the narrow escape afterwards.
Yeah, that was harrowing. But yeah, that was fun.
I was hoping Cassandra would put up more of a fight.
She underestimated us. And because she presumed, based on her first impression, that we would be very easy to take over. And we aren't anymore. So, yeah, she underestimated us. I do have concerns, though, because it was too easy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we shouldn't have... If Vitel really was looking for us and setting this up as a trap, we should not have been able to get away that easy.
Yeah.
So what is he really after?
I don't really think it's us. But I don't know what yet. I've got to really think that through. Because, I'm fairly skilled in politics and political maneuvering, but he's got centuries on me. So I've really got to think that one through. Yeah, because it was just too easy. It was just too easy. I mean, and even getting out of there, yeah, we had to pull a few strings with Jack getting his person to help us navigate out of there. And, but I mean, once we blended in with the crowd, it was a piece of cake to get away from there. It really was. There was nothing hampering us.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, they used a Tremere to try to track us. But
even that seemed a little half-assed.
yeah, nothing seemed like it was really the full effort. It makes me wonder what else was he doing during the time this was going on, because it seems like it was almost a distraction.
Right.
Because it tied up Gino.
Mm-hmm.
It tied up Gino's crew. It tied up Cassandra. He was doing something else.
Particularly since I saw Gino and his men milling around outside.
Yeah.
Well after we completed the act and
right.
gotten away. That's...
Well, they were trying to look for us leaving.
Right. They should have known more.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was... my gut is just telling me it's a distraction so that he can do something else. And I don't know what that something else is.
Now, does that mean that he knew that we would all be out of the club?
That's an interesting thought. You and the boys take a look around?
Yes.
I have somewhere I have to be.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, because the next morning, all four of your security were gone.
The next night.
Or the next morning. Or next night, yes. The next night, all your ghouls left.
We're gone for about 2-3 hours, yeah.
Right.
Because they rolled deep to come get you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you still have your regular security.
Yeah.
But not many of them.
Yeah.
And they're mortals. Complete mortals. Not
Complete
even
mortals, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you and the boys take a look around.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, Locke, you, Quartermain, and Natalie, do you have anything you're going to talk, or is it a silent ride back from the Prince?
I will say that The prince didn't say so specifically, but we talked about Jack, and he said Jack's good. But he wanted an eye. He wanted an eye kept on him because he is Bruja. And I mentioned that he's going to be working for you now, and he's like, "Oh, good. So I think you're now in charge of him."
You know what? That makes sense. That's fine. That's fine.
So,
We all apparently will get a person at some point that we have to watch for a while.
Oh, good. Does that mean there will be someone to look after me? That would be
Is that
charming.
Lily? Pretty sure that's Lily.
Oh, good. That would be brilliant.
I mean, she is
Well-
the Primogen.
Yeah, she's your Primogen, so.
She's your Primogen, and he didn't seem to say, like, no, Locke has to do it when we said Lily, so I'm pretty sure it's Lily. But
I meant to ask, should I know who Jack is, or is this someone important?
oh, he is a bartender, and look checks her phone. He's a good bartender.
He let us know about Cassandra being in Baltimore, which is why we went up there to begin with.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So.
One thing, he actually, I don't know what his sheet is, but he did mention last session that he is a famous bartender.
yes, he has been.
I don't know if that's something she can roll on.
I don't think you'd really know all the bartenders.
Yeah, you don't run the scene.
Yeah, it's a different scene. But yes, he is actually a famous bartender. He's got fame in bartending, which is kind of cool, actually. From a
That's
character
kind of epic.
standpoint.
I
Yeah.
wonder if he could bartend stuff for, like, Archive. That'd be kind of cool, right?
That would be cool.
Cool. Yes, that would
If
be
he can make
very
something that's
enjoyable.
palatable
Make it
to
like a-
Lily,
An actual Bloody Mary.
yeah, that would be cool.
Ew, but at the same time, yes.
Yes,
But at
please.
the same time, ew.
Ew.
Yeah, it's kind of a yes, ooh. Because, you know,
Yeah. Oh,
It doesn't
I'll
taste
have
like
to-
ass,
grab
and
a-
I'm
grab-
coming
Grab a
for
girl
it.
off the street, you name her Mary, you pour vodka down
Oh
her,
my god.
wow.
I mean, I
Okay,
have.
well, Lily can't drink that.
stick a stalk of celery in her ear,
Okay, get a dude,
you know.
put a wig on him, call him Mary.
I will say, guys, that Lily offered to sponsor Natalie, so just to tweak the prince's nose a little bit.
Might have worked. So you get back at the club, of course, and I assume Locke and Quartermain have their own thing to do after getting dropped off. And Natalie is left in the care of Lily.
Yeah. And you see,
Natalie will actively ask if she can come in the club.
oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
You are
Oh,
very
you've been
welcome
paying
here.
attention. She doesn't like uninvited guests.
Oh, that is definitely not the problem.
It's not.
Yeah. So no, you absolutely are welcome here.
Excellent.
Yes.
I have to say it was an interesting experience meeting the prince, but you know.
Well, let me take you on a quick tour of my club, as I hope you will be a patron here at times. And and then once we're done, we will head out to the garage and head over to the Black Magic to see Waylon perform.
Okay, so Lily and Natalie are doing the tour of the club.
Mhm.
Steve.
Did Locke and Quartermain didn't come back? to
No,
the
they
club?
they were in the vehicle when it pulled up in the driveway. Do you
Comment.
need to talk to them before
Yeah.
they do their thing? Because I'm pretty sure Locke and Quartermain have things they want to at least talk to each other about because there was more to that prince's discussion.
We have to
than,
come up through the garage, so
Yeah,
we're at least
so you
in
can-
the club
Okay.
for some.
I'll go down and meet him at the.
So,
okay, you meet him at the garage?
Yeah.
Go ahead. So what do you?
Hey guys, while Lily and I were talking, it just came up. I thought of this that all of us, including our security, was out of the club and out of our havens. So I look around a bit when you get back to wherever you're going, just to check it out.
Vitel never knew exactly what Quartermain's Haven was, but had a general idea for sure of what it was, just
But
not
then
the specifics.
We don't know that we haven't been tracked to our
Right.
respective havens.
I don't know. I think they would have to put a lot of resources into attempting to find my haven.
But they do have the general idea, a general area for sure, but not no specifics on his.
So,
But it's still a
I
problem.
can help look around here.
sure.
Let me go back to
I
that.
s-
And she goes off.
Okay.
No, we'll talk in a second. We'll take long. And she goes and she takes the food out of her backpack and she tries to find some
Okay. Oh, there's
cats or something.
tries to find rats. This is DC.
They're all waiting for you.
The question is,
Yeah.
do you want rat-sized or rats that are as big as cats? You pick one because that's what DC has. Both. Normal rat-sized, cat rat-sized. That's DC. So yeah, you go out behind the club and you'll find rats. Go for it.
Okay. She is going to rouse
Okay.
Feral Whispers. I do not get hungrier.
Good.
And she is basically going to try and get the not as big rats, because the not as big rats, you know, I feel like they would see more because they can be like hidden and stuff.
Now,
The big one.
You can't really tell the difference in rats, but you're pretty sure you're talking to a different rat than last time. Though,
Okay.
immediately when you start talking, you got food. Heard you got food. I want food.
I got food, and I go in my backpack and I pull all kinds of food.
And they start eating. We like you. You're friends.
Yeah,
We
like,
want food.
we're friends. We're such good friends. Last night, were there different people here?
And of course, you know, you're describing it. They don't really know nights, but you know, sun setting. You give them more of a description of time.
The last work.
What do you mean? What people?
People, sneaky
Pagans.
people, are back here where they shouldn't be. This is my
You
alley.
mean people smell like you?
Yeah.
You smell dead, but not tasty dead. Not like
Yeah, exactly.
good dead, just
Yeah.
dead. Yes, one. There was one.
One? Was it, could you tell anything else? Were they...
Well, I eat trash a lot here. Eat food, love it. Good food. It's not one I normally see. It's not been here. New one, different.
No one. Different. Okay.
Smell
Can you
wrong.
tell a
Just
boy or
not
girl?
right.
Hmm?
Smell wrong. Didn't
Smell
smell
wrong.
right.
Wrong like me?
No,
Wrong.
wrong. Just like when rat burned that runs around in circles because he got burned. That make no
And-
sense. Do things that don't make sense because he got hurt.
Crazy?
Crazy. That's a good word.
Crazy. Okay, crazy. Crazy one like me. Uh-oh.
Laughing, screaming, giggling. Weird.
Giggling. Laughing, giggling. Well, that's not good at all. We don't like people laughing in our alley.
Smell wrong, not natural. Different. God.
Wrong, not natural. Okay, good. Excellent. She puts all the rest of the food in her backpack just in front of the rat. She's like,
Oh
"You're
yeah,
the
they
best
love it.
rat."
They just go into town on it.
She's like, you are the best rats.
All friends. We'll bring more. We'll
Oh,
listen.
yes,
We'll bring you stories. Tell you what
Yes.
we see. More food.
And
Yes.
while I am taking Natalie on the tour, I am also doing investigation. I want to investigate for anything occult.
Okay. Intelligence and occult. You can do those too. Steve, what are you doing after? You're waiting because you're going to want to talk to him when
Right.
Locke comes back. But while you're waiting to record him to see what Locke comes back with, you know, voices in your head briefly.
Okay.
Hang on, let her finish her roll because that's not.
Yes, sir.
You've returned,
I have.
my wayward child. I smell his taint. He did not do what he was told. He will be punished. And then the voice goes silent again.
Darn, I wouldn't ask who he was.
Her child. Her child.
She said her wayward child.
Her wayward child. I tell you.
That would be Fucker McGee. Myself.
Yeah,
Fucker
that's the
McGee.
praetor.
Prefect.
Prefect.
Yep.
Praetor.
So yeah, Locke comes back in, of course, and you know she seems to be almost giddy as she's coming back in. She did something.
She does something.
Hey, Locke, what you got?
Okay. I talked to the rats. There was a kindred in the alley yesterday. Sounds like a milk. Lots of giggling and laughing. One that the rats did not recognize. So it was not me. It was not one of us. It was someone new.
Okay.
You have a memory very recent, Steve. It wasn't your memory, but it is your memory. It's from actions you didn't do where you were watching, and you remember someone who giggled and laughed as they did things.
Jack.
Yeah,
You were in
smiling
his head
Jack.
briefly. You've experienced someone who did that. The only one you've ever met that does that.
Mm.
And you remember it when she mentions giggling and laughing.
And I mentioned that I'm remembering, that it's Smiling Jack and how he cackles like that. He was just here while we were gone.
Yes.
Mhm.
Keep in mind, I'm working with rats. They don't exactly have a lot of. Can't really tell it, but we have video, right? We should have video.
We'll find
The new cameras.
Yeah, we're going to find out.
The new
Yeah.
cameras probably caught it because you have them covering those areas.
Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
So time to go
You
look.
did good, Locke.
Yes, you did.
Is that what you're waiting for?
Yes.
Okay, so I got 6 successes on an occult check for anything abnormal in my club.
You don't see anything occult abnormal. I mean, for you, Natalie, she takes you through the club, of course. It's a well laid out. You've been in a number of clubs.
It's a
It's not
lovely
your
club.
normal scene, but I mean, you're a Toreador. You've been to clubs. You've done that. You know what it's like. It's a very nice club. It's very tasteful, but definitely fashionable and high chic. You can see why it draws and it has the reputation. So it would be a great venue for, not for ballet, of course, or any kind of that dance, but it'd definitely be a great place if you were looking to hunt through some wordles that are jam packed in a club, that a meat market.
Yeah.
But not a meat market of like a seedy type. This is a high end.
This is a high
It's a
class.
high-end meat market. I
Yes.
understand. I get to choose my cut.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
So when y'all come back, y'all talk about the videotape. So I guess
Mhm.
Locke and Quartermain and Steve are going up to the office upstairs.
Yes.
When you go to the office upstairs, start reviewing the tapes. This evening, when you were, when all the guards, you see all the vehicles pull out. Shortly after all the vehicles pull out, you see somebody come in through the alley. And they obviously know the cameras are there because they've got a hood up and they're poking around the club, poking around, messing with the doors, messing with the garage, messing around all through the alley. You don't know what they're doing. They seem to spend about 30 minutes up and down the alley, touching things, running their fingers over things, tracing things as they're walking through the alley. And then right as they leave, the head looks up and grins into one of the cameras
Hmm.
and just walks away. He almost salutes the cameras with 2 fingers and walks off.
I'm gonna try
I'm
and do
heading
a
towards the garage because we're getting ready to leave.
You're gonna do what?
I'm gonna try and do a witch streetwise on this to see what if this was like, like mundane, like.
Yep, go ahead. Which streetwise? That's fine. You can try to see if he was maybe tracing gang symbols or something that you might recognize.
Well, I mean, we've seen
3.
him do the symbols.
It was symbols of some kind. But you don't think you recognized any gang symbols or gang signs, but it was symbols.
Can
There were
I
symbols, and she starts pointing out where the symbols, but it's not the local. It's not the local
the-
shit.
can I do a call?
Go ahead.
To see
Intelligence occult.
And we are now at the garage, and Scott is taking us over to Black.
Okay, you're heading over to the black magic, right?
Okay. This would have been interesting if anybody
6.
had mentioned this to me, but
That's fine.
Lily don't even know yet.
I don't even know yet.
Yep. So 6.
6.
You don't see any symbols, but his hand patterns are definitely deliberate and very well could be some sort of symbol being drawn.
Well, we know he was using blood magic at the other place.
That's correct.
Mhm.
It's definite
Oh,
deliberate
Christ.
symbols of some kind. It's definitely not random tracing. There's patterns to it, and it's a repeated
And we're
pattern.
not close. We're not close enough to see what the exact movements, and there's no marks actually out in the alley.
The angle, you can see it, but because you're coming down on him, you can see his hand movements at a slight angle, so you can't really get a view of
Yeah.
exactly traced, but you can tell there's a pattern, and it is something being drawn of a symbol.
Are
And
you
there's
guys gonna tell me?
nothing physical left behind, right?
Yes,
out in
absolutely.
the alley.
You go out in the alley, no, you don't see anything.
Eyes.
You need my special eyes outside. Oh, okay.
So you guys are at the garage pulling out
We're-
as you get this
As I
message.
get this message, I'm like, okay, so hold up, Scott. And I ask Natalie, how good at you are seeing things that are
That's just a little meta, but I'll let it slide. Just a little, I'll let it slide.
unusual and maybe hidden?
I have some ability, but it is not my best skill.
Okay. Well, would you mind assisting me? Because I believe someone might have done some things outside here of the building.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So
So-
it is going to be.
So
Sense
who
the
who has the best?
Both. It's Sense the Unseen. I'm not making y'all do a combined.
Okay, we're gonna both do it.
individually because
Okay.
of the nature of this one. You can't really assist her with Sense the Unseen. There's
Okay.
no assistance. So this is, since you're looking for it, it will be
Wits.
resolve plus auspex.
Okay.
Just
All
see
those
something.
aspects, got it.
Once you figure out what you see, then we can do another discussion on it.
Steve?
Yes.
Did you do an electronic scan?
Not yet.
That's crazy.
I got 6.
I have 8, but they're all criticals, and so that's a messy critical for me.
Oh. Oh no. Oh no.
Messy crit on a passive?
No, this is an active skill.
Oh, active. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, they're all 10s. All of them.
Wow. This could be a pretty good one. Okay.
I'm still
looking
staring
over,
at that because.
And you're staring at it,
Okay.
and there's definite symbols. But Natalie, there is a symbol you recognize that you see. It's only, you don't get all the symbols, it's bits and pieces. But there's one you recognize, Natalie.
Okay.
It's one your enemy has used before.
Mm-hmm.
Maniacal Jack. You recognize the symbol.
Okay. She will like.
And because of the messy critical, you'd technically be having a masquerade breach at this point. But it's kind of hard to have a let me look one other thing real quick. I'm trying to think about what to do for this one.
A compulsion to like scrub it out.
That's actually going to be the only thing I can come with.
Okay.
Is that or a stain? But I can't give her. I can't see how, based on her convictions, there would be a stain. Actually, there is a way we have a stain. Yes, you're going to get a stain because the first thing you want to do is start. You see her lunge towards the wall and grab like she's going to start scrubbing.
I start
it
to
off.
grab her.
Right.
Like,
Which-
you don't want to touch that.
And everybody's out here with her. Do y'all all restrain her?
Like she's physically panicked by
Yes,
this.
trying to destroy.
Yeah,
her,
I'm trying to hold her.
which is
because-
violating one of your convictions
Drag her
because
back inside.
it's violating one of your convictions because you're
Yeah.
acting against the Toreador right now by doing it. You're trying to destroy
Yeah.
what's on her wall and her wall if you could. So I'll
Yep.
give you one
Yep.
stain for that as the messy critical.
Okay.
It takes visible effort for multiple people to restrain her. She's trying to destroy
Yeah.
whatever she saw.
Ugh. Ugh.
What are
Do
you
they?
trying to do?
Do I need to roll to resist them or?
No, there's no way you can stop Steve.
Okay.
Lock-
I'm just making
Lock
sure
and
that
Quartermain.
I don't
Quartermain.
have to do anything else
Nope.
before I can
I'm-
stop freaking out.
You
I
just
don't get
run
involved.
back
I
in.
stand back and watch.
Yeah, Locke. I'll be honest. You can roll against Locke and Steve if you want, but
You're not going to win.
No, it's all good.
Yeah, they're going to hold you until
that's
you
only
calm
if
down.
you think your character had enough mental cognitive at the time to try to fight them rather than keep trying to erase
go.
whatever's on the wall
Yeah.
or take the wall down if you could.
Oh, he's been here. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Who's been
Yeah.
here?
His name was Maniacal Jack. He's someone from Vitel's days. Oh God, I thought I was rid of him.
Fuck.
You know about him. He's a Zamichi because you've seen the horrible creations he makes, which is part of why you don't like him so much because he likes to take dancers and create new people out of them and create different things out of them. He's a body shaper.
He's horrifying, and he takes beautiful art and turns it into blah, and she just becomes incomprehensible and starts swearing in French.
Okay, so what are the symbols doing?
When I got
Right.
my sense of the unseen, did I notice anything?
You saw some symbols.
Are
bits and
they
pieces.
glowing?
You saw bits and pieces of glowing symbol. You never saw a complete symbol. You
Okay.
saw
Lily,
parts of the symbol.
I-
You
if I
definitely
hand
knew
you-
something was
I
done.
hand her. I hand you my notebook and my pen.
And have
Can
me
you
draw
write?
it?
What you can.
Yes.
I will draw what I can.
Yeah, it's not complete. You don't have them all, but you have bits and pieces. Edges that are mostly there, partly there, because she got enough successes to get a decent amount, but no single complete symbol. And she did not see whatever symbol Natalie saw. That one is
And
going
I
to be
asked
friendly.
Natalie, I
Whenever-
said, can you draw the one you saw?
I will attempt to draw what I saw.
Okay.
Obviously, I have to calm down
Willpower
for a minute.
check to draw
A
it.
willpower.
I'll make
Yeah,
you roll
I-
willpower,
and I won't
which is-
expect you to if you can't, but
You'll get 5 dice plus a third your humanity, rounded down, so you'll get 7 dice on a willpower check. No blood die and no willpower uses. So just 7
Okay.
dice.
Got it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
All
6.
tens again. That would be great.
that would be fantastic.
I don't think I can do that twice.
Not without
All right.
Corbin's dice.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
Good, she's good.
Okay, yeah, you managed to force yourself through a lot of effort to draw it. Though you are visibly shaken from doing this.
Like,
It's,
if she could retch after that, she would. She's
And
just like
the
once
symbol
you-
is
I yank my book away.
the
And
symbol is one you don't. It's an odd symbol.
Okay.
It almost looks like an amalgam. Somebody had horrible, almost like it's not a stick figure drawing. It's like someone had taken just an outline of a person and merged 3 together in some obscene kind of a posture. It's a
Human
very
centipede?
disturbing symbol just to see.
I am trying to comfort
Human
Natalie.
Okay.
And what I look over at Quartermain, I'm like, please get that to the Pontifex. Please.
Already thinking about it.
Good. I will be at the Black Magic because Waylon's putting on a special show tonight. If you guys need me, let me know. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you so much. And so we get back in the car to head out.
Okay.
We need a distraction after this.
Yeah, Natalie's shaking the whole
Yeah.
time over there.
Honey, we're going to take you somewhere where it's beautiful and lovely and you're going to love it.
You are endlessly kind.
Oh, that was great. I love that scene. That was awesome. Great roll. That was perfect to add to the.
That was awesome.
So now, you see them leave, and we're leaving. I know Quartermain, Locke, and Steve are still at the club. What's everybody at the club doing? We know where Natalie and Lily are going.
Yeah, I'm going to do.
I'm gonna call.
Electronic
I'm gonna
suite?
call the Pontifex.
Okay, the number you have was actually Cone's number, not the Pontifex. Unless Lily gave
Whatever.
you. No, Lily's not giving the Pontifex number. So, Steve, you can roll intelligence technology, and that'll be tying you up for a little while.
Okay.
You contact Cone, and what do you send him? Do you call him, or do you just text him?
I call him.
It rings a bit. Finally get an answer. Cone Rose speaking. How can I help you?
Hi, it's Quartermain.
Good evening, Quartermain. What can I do
How
for
you
you
doing?
tonight?
I need to speak to you and Velois. I have something to show you that you would be very interested in seeing.
Okay. Where would you like us to meet you?
I'm at the club. You can come here.
Is this extremely important?
I kind of think it is. It's very similar to the instance I already explained to him.
I'll pass the
That
message
he was going to go.
and
Okay.
most likely we'll be by in about an hour.
Okay.
If it's that
Thank you very
important,
much,
I'll make
sir.
sure I imply or I relay how important that is.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Not a problem. I'm used to being messenger boy now. And then he hangs up the phone. It's not on you, he's just pissed off at Velois for making a messenger boy.
I understand completely.
So, okay, so Steve, you're doing your sweep. How many successes? 4? Okay, you're sweeping around looking for anything new technology-wise. Locke and Quartermain are waiting for the Pontifex. So Lily and Natalie head over to the Black Magic. It's only 2 blocks away. It's interesting you take a car to go 2 blocks, but you're Lily.
I'm Lily.
And you got to make your entrance. And when you get there, of course, there's signs all outside just saying, one night only, special performance by Waylon Smith.
She gets a text.
Okay.
Okay.
Invited VS to club tonight.
Thank you so much.
And then, of course, Raphael's at the door, though you're getting there right as it's starting. So he was already shooing people that were waiting in line, telling them, We're closed, But as he sees your vehicle pull up and you
And I do
get out,
browse
Okay.
for Blush of Life, and I succeed.
Okay. And as you get out of the vehicle, of course, Raphael comes right over to you guys. Good evening, Lily.
Good evening, Raphael.
And who's your wonderfully gorgeous guest here?
I will allow her to introduce herself to you.
My name is Natalie Bertrand. It is charming to meet you as always.
I am Raphael. No last name, of course. I just go by Raphael. I'd like to welcome you to the Black Magic, which is mine and Waylon's establishment. He is about to start his show, so if you're wanting to catch it all, please come inside.
Absolutely.
I was just telling the unlucky here that they didn't make it tonight. We've hit our capacity. And you hear grumbling again from the line where people are like, well, why do they get to come in? And
It
we wanted
pays to
get
be
in.
friends with the act.
And there's a lot of grumbling in line, but he just kind of ignores them. And you see him motion to two guys just inside the door that come and just stand outside the door to make sure nobody tries to rush in.
And I allow him to escort us in.
And you're escorted. It's a dark. It's more of almost a dinner theater, but it's a dinner club. But there's obviously a stage at the front, and you're seeing a guy just finishing up the opening act. It's odd. You can tell he's a magician of some kind. There's stage magic going on, which from a Toreador's perspective you're not used to seeing. But you're led to a roped off area that has got perfect views of the whole stage. It's obvious it was set aside for yourself and Lily. And Raphael escorts you over. As you can see, it's a packed club tonight. After all the funny business that went on and everything shut down, of course, one night only performance of Wayland really drew the crowd in. It should really help out. I mean, we've even bumped the crowds for tonight only, the cost of the drinks.
And he doesn't say anything about Lily's hair.
No, not yet.
Okay.
He doesn't know you well enough to have known, and he is also the consummate host.
That's true.
He's always been the consummate host.
Natalie will lean over and go, friends of yours.
Yes, absolutely.
And you take him to a seat and sit down, and he goes, I'll have drinks brought, of course.
Thank you.
And he leans in real close. Keep up appearances, at least.
Absolutely.
And, of course, as he walks away, the lights get a little dimmer, and out steps Wayland. And to you, Natalie, who haven't seen him, I mean, you were in D.C. before, but you weren't here long enough to really meet all the Toreador. The man who comes out has nice, long, wavy hair. It's about shoulder length, actually, a little bit longer than that. And he's impeccably dressed. His outfit, it's very odd. It's a black color, almost midnight black against the back of the stage, but you can actually see little glints of light that pull off on it, maybe not sequins, but some sort of reflective material that almost makes it look like, as he's moving around, like a star field as he's moving in front of his curtains. It's an amazing effect. And of course he comes out and takes a big bow, and he starts going into an act of magic that for a Toreador, now you understand why Lily wanted to come here. You didn't really think of magic normally as a big art form, but he comes out with a performance. He starts off and tells a story. His magic is all on a story. He starts at the beginning and goes through the whole thing as he's performing, and he's telling an elaborate story about love and betrayal and life and death. And
can I tell he's kindred?
You can roll, but probably not unless.
Okay.
Well, I will let you roll intelligence because there's a possibility you might notice something. Intelligence plus
awareness,
performance.
Oh God. Okay.
Oh, she might notice something. Yeah.
Yeah, I might actually.
Skill monkey. That funky monkey.
There are tells for kindred when they do certain types of things. That
1, 5, 6, 7 successes.
His hands move faster than a mortal should. You're not able to figure out the tricks, but you know damn well that is not mortal dexterity or speed.
And
that actually relaxes me more at this point. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, and I actually lean over towards Natalie and say, he's our herald.
And what a charming herald he is.
Indeed.
And you can tell his performance. You can feel it. Now that you know what you're looking for, you can feel the awe.
The awe.
He's definitely using the awe for the supernatural intent to gather the attention of the crowd. And the whole crowd is like breathless. You don't hear any mutters. You don't hear anybody talking, not even whispering amongst the tables as he's doing his show. Everyone is enraptured as the show goes on. So now from there, we're going to cut back to, because his show goes on a while, to Quartermain and Locke and Steve. Locke, you're done, or Quartermain, you're done. You didn't see, or not Quartermain. I'm looking at Steve and say Quartermain. After saying Locke. Steve, you've done a sweep. Yeah, you didn't find anything.
He's not nearly as pretty as I am.
Or charming either.
Yeah. Or humble.
Or
Or
humble.
humble, yeah.
So about an hour later, a car pulls up out front, and Thomas comes over. Mr. Quartermain, Locke, Mr. Perry, were you expecting guests?
No.
Vehicle pulled up out front. I recognize him. It's Velois and Cone.
Oh, yes.
Yep, absolutely.
Where do you want me to escort him to?
Bring him up to the conference room.
Yes, sir. I'll do that. And as you wait in the conference room, of course, it takes a few minutes before in comes Velois and Cone. And Velois, of course, first one through the door. And Cone is, of course, not looking as browbeat as last time. And Velois bows. Sheriff Hound. What can I do for you tonight? I got the impression from Cone that this is a courtly or at least a matter for the warlock, not my role as Pontifex.
I will close the door.
Okay.
And I will lay my notebook on the table in front of him, and I will say, "We had a visit from Maniacal Jack."
And you can hear an audible gasp from Cone when you say that.
Mm-hmm.
And I will explain what we saw, and anybody can fill in any details that I might miss. But these are the symbols that we could get details of between, based on what Lily could see.
And the Pontifex looks for a while, and you see him staring, just staring at it and thinking. And Cone's looking over his shoulder, and every once in a while they whisper to each other about something.
If you want to see the tape, maybe you can get more detail from the motions.
Or we can take
what?
outside.
Yeah, or we can take them outside.
Or we can take you outside, yes, yeah.
He stares for a while. You're definitely blood magic related, but I don't recognize the form of what he was doing. It's like
he may just be leaving a message.
It's like reading a book where you know the words, but you don't know the pattern or speech for it. So I know the parts, but I can't get the meaning. Yes, show me outside to where he did this.
But then you also may want to see the tape because he moved up and down the alley numerous times. Maybe the order matters. So yes. we'll let you look the whole thing over.
Let me see what he wrote first, and then I shall see if I can see the tape. And
okay.
You escort him out. And a lot of dice. Yeah. Pontifex for a reason. And again, you see him studying. You see his eyes become unfocused. It's a sight you've seen from Lily a number of times, even Steve a number of times. They're definitely he's viewing something. You're just not quite
while
sure
he's doing this.
Yes.
Well, he is Cone doing anything?
His are unfocused as well.
Oh, okay. I'll wait then.
Both of them seem to be studying closely what.
Oh, they're working.
And they slowly go up and down the wall, and over to the garage doors and back and forth, and you hear them whispering amongst themselves. I will let you roll a resolve plus awareness to see if you can catch anything. Unless you're planning to try to listen to what they're whispering amongst themselves with heightened senses, of course.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. With heightened senses, you catch enough bits and pieces that remarkable. I don't. How do you do it? And then Cone will come back with, yeah, but I don't understand the purpose. And then Velois goes, but it's skilled. It's well done. But what? What could he be doing with this? And they go back and forth, and that means that obviously they see it. And they know something was done, but they're not, what you can catch of their conversation doesn't seem to suggest they're sure what it is. But whatever it is, they're impressed. And when they're finally done, Cone goes, let me go see the tape now. Can you show us to your security room?
Yes, let's go.
Go ahead, Steve.
Okay. You take
Wait a
him
minute,
up.
Cone, this is Cone?
Cone and the Pontifex. Actually, Cone stays behind. The Pontifex goes to watch the tape. And Cone is still slightly unfocused fucking with the staring at the wall. But I mean, just
Okay, I'll
because he's
wait with
unfocused don't mean you can't talk to him.
I'll wait with Cone, and once everybody's gone, I want to say, you know, I really think you got the raw end of the deal.
He kind of jumps when you say that. What do you mean?
I'm sorry you got relegated to message man.
Well, part of it's my fault. I should not have overstepped my bounds and assumed I could take Pontifex without permission.
Mhm.
But
I still think he's being a little too hard on you.
perhaps. And he looks at the cameras and goes, perhaps not. And he looks back down.
Yeah.
So you guys get up there. Of course, by the time you get up there, Quartermain's already had his little talk.
Right.
It's the time it takes to get up there. And you rewind the tape for him and you show him. And the angle is definitely not one that he can tell exactly what's going on, but he's very intent, watching everywhere he touch. And you see him shake his head, and every once in a while, when you finally get done, he goes, he did something. Don't know what it is. I will wait. Let's call them up and let's talk in the conference room again, please.
Okay. No. Thank you.
We'll make our way.
Yeah.
We'll make our way back up.
Okay, you guys come back up, of course, and Lois is in the conference room, sitting in one of the chairs. She sat down this time. Uh, and when you come in, of course, and you shut the door, he immediately goes, it was blood sorcery. I don't know what he's trying to do. I don't even know the purpose of it or what he did, but it is blood sorcery.
I don't know. Based on his actions, the smile at the end, I just think we're being taunted.
The saluting seems odd, and Cone, who wasn't watching the video, goes, he did what? Yes, at the end, he looked at the cameras, grinning, and did that. And Cone goes, he is egotistical at times, from what we remember. He waved goodbye that night he breached the Chantry records in much the same way. I concur with the Pontifex. I do not know what he was doing. It's brilliant and complex. I don't know what it is. And the Pontifex goes, neither do I. But I could try to remove it, but I don't know what that will do. It may be set there for us to try to remove it.
Yeah. Well, I know Lily's concerned whether it's dangerous
It is
to her
not
club,
a ward.
her patrons.
It is not a ward. It is not overtly threatening. But it is something. It is doing something. It is a
Could it be
ritual
calling
of some
things?
kind. I don't know.
Because there was a thing that we had, the thing that you got that we had that was calling, I don't fucking know, like werewolves or some shit on us.
Oh,
Like
the
that,
necklace that we found in the vehicle that one
Yeah.
time that you told us was meant to call things.
could it be, it's not warding, it's not attacking, could it just be like a
It's an
signal?
interesting. That's an interesting theory. An inverse ward. Instead of warding, it's to push away. It's drawing something to it. That is an interesting theory.
Okay.
I will have to
He was
research that. That is a possibility. But then the question becomes, what is it to be attracting?
he was Vitel's man, right?
Yes, that is what Cone has said. And Cone's like, he claimed he was Vitel's man.
Have you heard the latest?
Well, Pontifex says, well, no, of course. What is the latest? I'm always interested.
Vitel is in Baltimore, and he's gobbling up our anarch barons like nobody's business.
Interesting.
the prince sent us there last night to deal with Cassandra. We think she was set up as bait.
So he's setting up
You
a
can
new.
even mention it as a distraction.
Yes,
He's setting up a new kingdom in Baltimore. You do know the significance of Baltimore, don't you? For years, Vitale ran D.C., of course. What was actually La Sombra. Baltimore for years was run by the Sabbat. And for years, there would be raids from Baltimore over to D.C., raids from D.C. back to Baltimore. And Vitale used that to consolidate his power quite a bit. Now, of course, once we found his treachery in the tower, he was eliminated, mainly because he was playing the Kindred of DC off against the Sabbat, using his Sabbat contacts to justify some of his more draconian control methods. But then Baltimore, Sabbat lost it with this whole thing of them going east. And when they did, the fact he's taken it back is he's setting up a new Sabbat stronghold. It was always the opposition to DC. It was a place where he could launch attacks into DC freely. I'm sure there's rumors about he tried to have Dorian taken out with a few Sabbat packs. Though that didn't end well for them.
I don't know. I'm wondering if he's still involved with Vitale or not.
Although he says he's Vitale's man, and if you say Vitale's in Baltimore, and he's gobbling up baronies, the fact that he's now resurfaced when we haven't seen Jack for 5 years, I think Cone said, tells me that there is a connection.
Mm-hmm.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
Or did we simply stir up Jack because we found his handiwork and poked our nose into it?
That's an interesting thought, too. Could he have had something in the ritual of remembrance that told him when it was triggered, that someone had viewed it? It's also something I'll have to search into. Very interesting noise. Thank you for that. That's... I will research what I can to discuss it, of course. Again, as I've said before, this is court business. Of course, Tremere don't like to share the secrets, but this is one case where, Sheriff, we must compare notes, shall they say, because this could be a threat to the city as a whole, and as Pontifex and Warlock, I have an obligation to keep the tower in control of this city and this region.
Absolutely.
We're thinking that Michael Jack's actions were set up. Well, we were distracted by the prince's command to go get Cassandra, but she was merely a distraction to get us out, because all of us were away from the club, all of us, including security. And he happens to show up while we're gone.
At that moment.
That is a coincidence of an, shall we say, fortuitous type. I fought the Sabbat. I know how they think. Many of them are not subtle. But of those that are, the La Sombra were chief of that. Very skilled at the game. Not like what you expect from many of the others. Think of the subtlety Ventru can apply. La Sombra are much the same, though it would pain both clans to be compared that way. But they're different sides of the same coin. They both have the same goals and the same methods. And it's just how they are. They're both goals and ends. They use different methods to do it. And that is subtlety and something I could see him doing. But then it comes back to what could he hope to gain? And that's why I wonder what was done to this. What is this put here? My recommendation is not, for now, for me not to remove it yet. Give me 24 hours to research. We can't leave it longer than that because it could be a threat to the city. But for now, I will have to look into it.
One thing Locke wants to do after he leaves
Okay.
going to take a baseline because Locke got a science.
Science.
Science. She's just going to do a baseline around the neighborhood, just with streetwise. She's going to go on the
Okay,
prowl.
and Steve and I should do another once over on the club.
Okay.
On the club or
And-
outside the club?
Did you do?
Steve did a tech check in the club. Now, his sweeps do
Yeah.
not normally go outside the club. And there are blind
Yeah.
spots in the camera that aren't the club, but are near the club, but not on the ground
What?
level. So,
Why don't you go do that while I take a more physical look around the inside and outside?
Okay.
because all the entrances to the club have the cameras. That's how you caught Jack in the alley, because the garage, that whole section is lit. But there are blind spots because, well, I mean, it's a club and it's a street and there's people walking all the time, and you'd have a lot of footage of nothing. So,
What's your intelligence, Bill?
for what you're doing, that is going to be, well, you're using your deductive powers. So, intelligence investigation with your deduction bonus. Because you're trying to deduce what he might do, what he might have done.
Okay.
And when they're done, I have a question about how much I would have known about the relationship between Vitel and Maniacal Jack. And
You
then
know
I
it's
have a
Vitel's man.
Okay.
You did.
And then I
That's
have a
why you
prop.
fled the city in a lot of ways, because you didn't trust Vitel, and you knew for a fact that Vitel was working with Jack, which told you get the fuck out of the city, because if the prince of the city is working with a Sabat guy while claiming to be Camarilla, you don't want to be nearby because, well,
And
it's
then I
kind of
have
funny.
a
You might have
proposition
told
for
people
Lily.
that finally got Vitel found out.
Right.
It could have been some of the info you had, because I'm sure you didn't keep it to yourself once you got out of the city.
She's a Toreador, of course
That
she
might have
didn't.
got back to the tower eventually, which led to Vitel's downfall. You don't know.
Hey.
Exactly.
Don't know.
No, I have a thought for Lily whenever we get a minute.
Okay.
Steve,
We'll come back to you in a minute.
Yes.
can you do a tech check outside?
It's tough. I mean, there's a lot of false signals. You're starting to pick up all kinds of, but you can try it.
I can try. Sure.
Yeah, intelligence and technology for you. We're going to cut back to the club
I got
after this. What?
5 with a crit.
Okay, Locke, how many did you get on your street check?
5 for streetwise.
5? Okay. 2. Okay, we'll remember that and we'll come back. The performance.
Yes.
It was amazing.
Of course.
Standing ovation, of course.
Yes.
Waylon even does a little bit of an encore act a few times. Of course, comes back out. And you can definitely see why he was embraced.
Oh, yeah.
He
It's
has
a
turned
magnificent
what
performance.
most people consider, a lesser
Art.
performance, art, magic.
But his
into-
art is performance.
Right, it's not just the magic, it's the story, it's
Yeah.
the movements. Everything is
Yeah.
precise, everything is built to tell the story, and no action does anything except lend to the story.
Mhm.
And when it's over, of course, everyone's clapping, and he bows, and he steps off stage, of course, and then it goes back to, they're serving up the drinks before they close, because they don't stay late all night, because it's a dinner with a show.
Yeah.
And of course, Raphael,
waves us over.
you can, of course, go back to see him if you
Perfect.
wish.
I would love to introduce him to Natalie. So
He's not in his office. Go to the next door down.
that's the
He's
dressing room.
A kind of a dressing room. It's more like where he unwinds afterwards.
Okay, perfect.
Natalie will
Just to
grab you
warn you,
before we
he
actually
isn't
meet up with
always
Waylon, because I don't think
Wayland
she would
after a
want to
show.
talk in front of someone else that she doesn't know, if that makes sense.
Say what?
And
She wants to
I
talk to
said-
you on the way.
Okay, that's
Sorry,
fine. As we walk down the hall, because Raphael knows Lily knows the back end of the club
And
now.
Raphael wants to stay to make sure that the guy,
The
he's
crowds
doing
are okay.
his thing he always does. He's very
He's the manager of the club.
right.
So we'll walk down the hallway and we can talk in the hallway.
Yeah. Natalie's a little calmer. It was beautiful. It's no
I think-
longer something she's terrified of.
And I noticed, and Lily notices that you have calmed down. I said, I thought this would be exactly what you needed.
It has been a very interesting day, but I had a weird thought, and I don't like this thought because I have some experience with Maniacal Jack. He was hunting me at one point, and I can't verify that he is not still, but he did have a fondness for dancers. And given that I know that both me and Angelique are in this city and we are all Toreador, we might have a common interest in preventing him from expanding his interests.
Yes, absolutely.
However, because he has this interest, it is possible that we might be able to lure him with some sort of dance performance. And I'm not particularly inclined to do it myself, but there are other ways to create.
That
as software
is.
dancers are.
Oh, Natalie, I'm going to love having you in the city. That is a fantastic idea. And that falls right in line with things I wanted to do in our city. Do more performances of the arts to build our influence in the culture. Oh, we will have to definitely
The other
arrange
thing
this.
is, as I mentioned to the prince, I run a small PR firm, and it is entirely possible that we could get the word out much louder than it is
Yes.
currently out.
Yes. Oh, and I literally wrap my arm
Oh,
through
great.
yours, and I'm like, darling, we
Great.
are going to have a wonderful
You got to
partnership.
talk to her about True Death.
Yes.
True Death's got a performance.
Yeah,
coming up.
because actually, and
Just what Louis
she would have
needs.
heard of him because he's famous. And I said, and I'm having True Death at my club.
Yes,
next
you know
week.
that name.
Yeah.
True Death is actually a famous recorded artist right now.
Mhm.
He does a lot of the. I mean, it's
Oh,
not
and darling, he's a
famous in terms
venture.
of normal music because I mean it's an older style.
Of course he is,
But,
right?
yes.
But yes, he's a venture, but he's fantastic. I saw a little bit of ad-libbing he did just on the fly, and it was fantastic.
Yes, but no one but a venturer would choose a name like that.
Oh, I know. Trust me. The name is awful, but it seems to sell. But yeah, and I do mention to you as we're walking down. Oh, by the way, Raphael is Waylon's newly embraced child.
Ah, that
And
explains much.
yes, but they were friends for a very long time prior. And Raphael, while he is not a performer, he actually does Waylon's stage outfits. And wasn't it amazing?
Yes, and I always love a good, well, I can't really call him a seamstress, but...
No,
I
he's a
would think that-
designer. He's a designer.
Exactly.
Yeah, and he does amazing work. I was so impressed when I found that out that he was the one doing them. So
And now you're at the door.
now we're at the door, and I knock on the door.
Come on in.
And I open the door.
And there's the man that
Good
performed on
evening.
stage doing his outfit.
Yeah. Fantastic performance tonight, darling. I have
Now
someone I'd like to
we
introduce
applaud.
you to.
When you step in, he smiles
Mhm.
to Lily. And then he looks at Natalie and just, thank
Oh.
you for coming, Lily.
Yeah, thank you.
I know I'm new.
And
I'm
this is
sorry.
my new friend, and I'd like you to meet her.
And he takes her hand and he kisses it lightly. But no roses come out
Of
tonight.
course not. I know who this is. And I said, this
this
is Natalie, and I said, you can introduce yourself.
Lovely, lovely lady. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
coming to my establishment.
I'm Natalie.
Did it meet with your approval?
Pardon?
Did it meet with your approval? My show.
Of course!
Ah,
I actually had quite a harrowing evening, and your performance made it so much better.
I think he ham-fisted the second half a little bit, but it went over great, I think.
It is the nature of the artist to never be completely satisfied with our art.
Well, I'm rarely satisfied with him,
Oh, well,
but
it was very satisfying to the audience.
that's good. That's good. That's what I hoped for, and that's what he hoped for. We're trying to build things back up, of course.
Yes. But
It is good to see you. Of course,
of course.
I always love when you come to my
Of
establishment, Lily.
course.
And he's smiling. He's very warm towards you.
Uh-huh.
But you made it just in time. Of course, I would have been devastated if you were late.
Oh, I try my best to be punctual.
You know,
Do I notice anything about the difference of his warmth towards Lily and his
yes.
attitude towards me?
He is.
Okay.
You can see he's colder to you, definitely by both body posture and his eyes. There's a definite warmth when he looks.
We lost Katie.
Oh, we lost Katie. Oh no. She'll be back. We'll refix him. Okay, now I gotta reorder real quick. Which, give me 1 second. We will fix this. Because we could leave the locks up there. That would be awesome. But,
Now locks the Toreador.
we'll move this over here, and we'll move this up here. Look at that. There, boom.
It started freezing, and I thought reloading wouldn't cause any issues.
No, it's fine.
Oh no, it
This
causes
is
issues,
fine.
but
This
it's
is
fine. We can
this
fix
is
it.
what happens when you're doing a live game. It happens. Fuck it.
Yeah.
We've had worse than this happen on screen.
Oh yeah.
So, you know,
Oh yeah. It's
like
fine.
me doing 20 minutes of us playing without recording. So,
Hey, Locke, you might want to move over just a little
but
bit.
she can see herself now.
Yeah.
Now that she's back, she can see how centered she is. That's the beauty
Now,
of this.
now the Toreador can understand truly what it is like to be beautiful.
Yes. Yes. It was a soul-wrenching experience.
Yes. Okay, but I do let Waylon know that I just wanted to congratulate him on the fantastic performance.
Thank you.
And
I'm just glad that we were open with a full business because Raphael gets so upset.
yeah.
And Waylon gets upset as well, and then he eyeballs her a little bit. But we're fine.
Okay, good. Well, I will see you tomorrow, darling.
Good. I hope to see you as well. I believe we have business.
We do.
I look forward to it, actually.
Good. Good.
And you can tell the question you had about it affecting Renee has been
answered.
Solved.
Mhm.
Yes.
And so I just take Natalie out.
Okay, and you guys are, of course, at this point, the club, it's winding down because it's really, you go for the show, and after the show, it's closed. That's why it costs so much to get in, because he doesn't stay open all night.
Right.
It's
Natalie's
expensive.
very impressed.
Yeah.
But it's nice quality food and a nice setting, and of course,
Mm-hmm.
Waylon is masterful at his craft. That's what he does.
So we go towards
Raphael, of course, was he fine?
He's okay. He's okay. I'll be by tomorrow.
Of course,
Yep.
of course. You're always welcome in the establishment.
Thank you, darling.
Tomorrow night, Waylon is not performing, of course.
Good. So he'll be free.
This was the one night for the week. That was the whole point of the draw, you see. But we'll have, of course, amazing performers.
And do remember, my club is reopening on Friday.
Oh, Waylon and I have already talked. We will be making an appearance.
Oh, fantastic.
And Natalie goes, "Oh, I would adore an invitation if I could."
Oh, of course, Natalie. You're always welcome, darling.
We figured that by doing a one-night only performance this week, it would draw more of the crowd in. And by doing that, of course, it drums up more support. And then he doesn't perform the rest of the week. So next week when he comes on, we'll make you understand the business side of it. We've got to drum it up and build it up. Because, frankly, I'm surprised so many people came because there's still some unease, of course, after the unpleasantness.
You just can't keep this city down.
No, of course not. That's why we're here. I mean, it's not a hotbed of art, but it's also a city that doesn't stop. And of course,
if other cities can do it, so can we.
So, tell me, Lily.
Yes.
What did you think of his outfit?
I absolutely adored it. It was masterful work.
Thank you. That took some time to come up with and to weave that in the way it did.
The way you did the threads, it was gorgeous.
We looked at it. It almost looked like a star pattern as moved. And
it looked like a star field. It was
that
amazing.
Was the point. That was the design of it. To
yeah.
try to draw that in. The constellations, which fit the whole story of, love and betrayal and under the star.
We really need to talk soon.
Of course.
I have some other...
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Of course,
Yes.
you are always welcome in our establishment.
And this city is so friendly when it gets going again.
Well,
Yes.
any friend of Lily's, of course, is a friend of ours.
Yeah. So I do have some business expansion plans, and I may need some outfits for performances.
We'll talk Friday when we come in.
Perfect.
We can have a brief, nothing too business.
No, just general.
We'll just get
I'll let you know what my plans are so you can get some ideas together.
Oh, of course.
Okay.
Of course. Anything for you, because, of course, I owe you, of course, and so does Waylon.
Yeah. But that's okay.
Yes.
We'll talk later.
Fascinating.
And thank you, dear. And I just pat his hand and we walk out.
Oh, you will find here in D.C., there's a lot of fascinating individuals. Of course, Lily, Waylon, and I humbly say myself is fascinating at times. But really, you'll find if you know where to look, there's a lot of amazing sights to see and some beautiful performances to be had.
Mm-hmm.
I hope to increase them. It'd be an entertaining diversion.
Oh, we'd always like more culture, of course.
Of course.
We've got to make things a little better, especially after the unpleasantness and all the ugliness. Really deterred from the city. And he walks you to the door. You're one of the last ones to go out of the club, of course, as it's closing, or the bar, or the dinner club, as it's closing down, of course. And your guard knows when, Scott knows when he sees the people, it's time to
pull on back.
Pull on back, yeah, because he knows when it's closing.
He knows the drill.
You guys head on back to the club.
Yep.
Okay. And you come back and Steve and Quartermain, you guys didn't find anything outside the club other than that one area. You didn't find any. Some of the things I know you looked for would be like earrings, repeater devices, some sort of transmitters, odd stones that shouldn't be there because you know about those little tricks that they played. Nothing really out of sorts. For you, Locke, when you did your routes, of course, you're seeing all the signs that you like to see coming back. Uh, the seedier elements are moving back in. You're starting to see a little more activity on that end where, your kind of people are out and about, which tells you you're about to have some healthy business to the club because those people are the first ones to know when the marks are coming back in the area.
Muggers, pimps, and hoes, oh my.
Yep. The dealers, the ones that, got the stuff for the club goers to get them a little bit extra edge off. They're starting to move back in. They set up their places. The muggers, of course, eyeballing, getting ready. You know what to look for. Other than that, things look relatively quiet still. You don't catch anything too out of the ordinary. Nothing that suggests, you don't see any large cats at least. That's good. Nothing too much out of the ordinary. And after doing your patrol, of course, you get back to the club probably about the same time that Natalie and Lily come back because that was a actual long performance for him. But you all arrived back about the
Yeah,
same
right until
time,
like midnight. Yeah,
just after midnight.
just after midnight.
Yeah, it's a long performance.
Hopefully, just before they get back. I do need to have a chest talk with Q for a couple minutes.
Go ahead. You can do that while y'all were working and doing your thing.
Hey, Quartermaster. While,
Sorry, what?
Oh, sorry, Quartermain.
Did you call me quartermaster?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Sorry.
Go on.
The Pontifex being here kind of jostled my memory about something. Reminded me of a task I have to do for the prince about all the thin bloods. You know Amos, right? The old guy who liked to had all the stories.
I did.
After his demise, did you ever have a chance to go look through his effects or find a list?
To be honest, I wouldn't know where they were.
Okay,
There's a shopping cart somewhere he pushed around town.
Yeah.
Because I have to come up with a list of all the known thin bloods in the city.
And he's the one who had the information.
Right.
George is looking into it. Locke
Okay.
says, sounding very testy, because she had this information and specifically went and researched this Primogen.
You might have told me, Whip.
No, man, I'm worried.
Steve's been distracted a lot lately, for sure.
There's been a lot of stuff going on. Let me go see if I can retrace his footsteps that night and see if I can find his cart.
Yeah, because you never did search
I
Nathan's
also
old
need
area
to-
after the event.
I also need to see if I can track down his ghoul.
Okay.
Yes, you never did search Nathan's old area where he was having his bum fight club after the event.
No, I didn't.
Because there was too many other things.
I was
going on.
I was a little distracted.
And upset in general. It's
Right.
a painful place to be at this point for Quartermain, I'm sure. But Lily, you guys had your dog, and of course, everyone gathers back at Lily's club.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Natalie there as well.
I'll give
seems-
Lily the lowdown
Okay.
on what we talked about with the Pontifex.
Perfect.
Do you say this in front of Natalie? Because, she had info on
I
Jack
will say
anyway.
that Velois visited. Do you want to talk about it now or later?
I asked Natalie, I said, can you excuse me for just a few minutes?
Oh, certainly.
Okay, darling. If you need anything, just let my boys know. Thomas, Ian, they're really handy. Okay?
Okay.
They're all good-looking men.
Yeah.
You can tell she's proud of herself. They're big. You know the signs to look for. You've been Kendra long. They are able to handle themselves in a fight. They're what
Awesome.
you've seen more than once as the bodyguard type.
Yeah, she's got lots of bodyguards.
But yeah, they're generally around the club. So
I
she
will
steps out of
quietly
the
study
conference
the
room.
layout.
Okay. And you guys can have your talk.
Okay.
You heard most of it.
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
So you brief each other.
He's expecting to have something in 24 hours.
Yeah, he said he'd come back and talk with us in 24 hours.
Okay, perfect. Because I plan to reopen this place on Friday. So
Yeah.
if there's
he
going to
thinks-
be any risk to my patrons, I need to know.
Right.
Yeah.
I stressed that.
Yeah. because that just creeps me out. I'm not gonna lie, that really creeps me out.
Oh, yeah, it does. And now that I'm done looking around your place, I'm going to,
Go
even
look
though
around
I
yours.
don't think that anybody can find mine specifically,
Yeah,
they can do stuff to the area around it.
absolutely. So, do you
So,
need my eyes for it?
Yes, because Vitel does know your Quartermain's Haven
Do
was a
you-
DuPont circle under it somewhere, just not exactly.
do you want to come down to the sewers?
I never want to come down to the sewers, but if you need me, I'm here.
Yes, Locke.
Why don't I go down and we do some investigation, I talk to some rats, and we see if he was seen around there, and if
That's
so,
a good idea.
then we'll text, and then we will.
Let me know if you need me.
Yeah,
Does that sound good?
has her own information source. The
That's
rats.
a good idea. But I am
Well, that's how the
available
Rat
if
Patrol
y'all.
was-
Yeah.
That's how the Rat Patrol was formed.
Yep, that is exactly
So-
how the Rat Patrol was
So
formed.
if you guys find that he was down there and need me to investigate, let me know.
What time of night is it right now?
At this point, it's probably about 1 a.m.
1 a.m.
Yeah,
So there's still hours left.
there's still hours left.
Okay. All right, then we shouldn't dawdle. We should
Okay.
move.
Okay. Thank you for letting me know, Quartermain.
Yeah, if I do, I'll text both of you because we could also use some of Steve's expertise too, probably.
Absolutely.
So
Okay.
let's go take a look at things, Locke.
Okay.
And I know the area really well, so I can take a nice circuitous route to kind of check out the area around the haven.
Yeah, that's a good thing to plan on that.
As I'm sure that, Natalie is being charming with my guards and stuff, I'm going to sneak off to my quarters real quick and I'm going to grab a book of my poetry.
Okay.
And as I walk out, I'm going to pass it to Natalie and say, as you are such a fan of art, I wanted to give you mine.
She looks delighted. She's like, I think you're spoiling me. Do they not have enough Toreadors for you here?
Not enough that I like.
Oh, you have to do something about that.
I'm working on it.
Well, the only thing I worry about is, given what I saw outside and
Yes,
your charming closed establishment currently,
yes.
you will have a large number of people here doing exactly what I am afraid of being hunted for.
And I get that. I do. And that's why I wanted the sheriff to get the court warlock involved. To investigate it, to make sure if it is safe or not. Because I do plan to open on Friday, and if there is a risk to my patrons, I won't open.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I also thought I might reach out to Angelique simply because of the
Absolutely.
increased risk.
Yeah, if you need to reach out to Angelique, feel free.
You don't have her number, but
Oh, actually,
neither
I
does
have
Lily.
it. I do.
Oh, you do have. You do
I
get
have
a
her
contact.
number.
You can give her number. Over
Yeah,
here.
I will actually give you Angelique's number.
Yeah.
Fantastic. We're not exactly close, but she might at least respond to me.
Yeah. She barely responds to me, so
That's probably true.
Yeah.
Very true.
She does respond, but it's very brief.
So I think this is where we're going to end for that. Actually, you got something else to say? Go for it.
All I was going to say, and feel free to come by my haven and I'll give her
The location?
To
Thank you.
attitude.
The location.
To attitude?
Just give you a card, and it says on it,
Attitude.
Dude, yeah.
PR firm.
Oh, I love this name.
It's actually marketing and promotion.
That's
what it
awesome.
says.
Thank you. And it's a brilliant name.
And yes, this will be.
I may need some assistance. We might have to do a little bit of trading of favors because I'm getting ready to branch out into.
Lily's good at promo, but not a professional at it.
I'm
which
not a
makes
professional, but I am going to be opening a new business soon, and I'm going to need some promotion done.
But Locke does not need promotion because the kind of bar Locke's opening, the patrons either know it's there or they don't, and you don't need to advertise it.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Our
right.
promotion is definitely there for the things you want seen. And
Mhm.
If you want to see some yuppies get their ass kicked.
Well, Natalie, do you have transportation to?
I will call my retainer.
Okay, perfect, darling. Well, thank you so much
I'll
for
text
all of your
Lucian.
assistance, and
And-
welcome to DC, darling.
And your retainer was lurking just outside the city, of course, closer because knew that you may need a ride back out of there. So yeah, we're gonna end right here for this.
I'm gonna take a note. If I ever get a ghoul, I'm gonna call them a retainer. I love that.
That is
term.
awesome.
I thought you should get a goal and name him Jeeves. Whether it's his name or not, call him Jeeves. Jeeves, be a good man, Jeeves. Can you go fetch me my books, please, Jeeves? Jeeves, be a good man. Get the door. Please, Jeeves. It's a great name just to do it. So we're going to end there where there's a startling revelation the previous episode.
Yeah.
The ease at which you went in and out, even though it was tense for the coterie, and a certain individual came out of it more powerful than he was before. It's obvious it was a setup, but not of the kind the prince suspected at first. He thought it was a setup to get you murdered. But it was obviously a setup of a different kind because Vitel was playing a different game again. What is his supposed man doing, and what did he do to Lily's club?
Yeah.
And Quartermain and Locke, of course, have to go check to see
Why do I get the feeling that Friday all hell's gonna break loose in Lily's club?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I've had a string of uninvited guests, and now some freaking Zamichi is putting blood sorcery on the outside walls of my club, and I'm about to open on Friday. All hell's gonna
You don't want that kind of fun, I'm sure.
Oh, it's never a dull moment, but Lily could really stand for a dull moment right about now.
we know that Malik has been flying around and pooping.
And that too. So yeah, I mean, all hell is going to break loose.
So I'd like to think, of course,
it's kind of like the first weekend you opened.
Yeah, exactly. That was bad.
That was rough.
That was bad.
Body stuffed in the air vent. A couch got ripped up by somebody. This was before we started streaming, of course. But,
that opening weekend was pretty rough.
Lisa killed one of her cooks, stuffed the body in the air vent. The coterie took the body to Ivan's Haven that they found, and
because he had sent some of his people after
fucked
us
up his
on the
couch and
ambush.
then left the body there. I mean, it was Locke got a whole old lady's clothes out of the laundromat. She come out with a whole bunch.
She had a shirt that said "World's Best Grandma."
Yep.
She's been wearing that entire wardrobe. It's carried her through the last few months.
Yes.
Yes. So of course I'd like to thank all the players, of course, and our special guests,
Michelle,
Spectre Lafette.
Spectre
Lafette. Spectre Lafette. It was great having you play. We enjoyed your character.
Yes.
It's a great new addition to the cast here. And to the
I
players.
love it. I finally got a Toreador. I've been asking for one for months.
Well, it's what the guests want to play. That's the beauty of the guest system is the guests play what they want to play, and the guests get to come on. We had Jack before, of course. Now we have Natalie coming into the coterie, and of course we've got coming up Jake from Q Times. He's going to be on here. I believe he's scheduled for the to play with us the 8th, but I think his episode is not going to air until like the 16th. I believe it's the following weekend because he's on the later half of the episode, which is great. As always, as I'm closing, I'm a proud affiliate of Gehenna Gaming. Great group of people. Check out the link we have, the panels below. Go to their website, go to the Discord, hang out, chat with us. Tell me I suck. You can go ahead. I don't care. I'm fine with it. I know I suck sometimes. What?
You suck.
See? I'm fine with it. I just do this to Quartermain. Of course, if you like our RPG and dark RPG content and you like vampire stuff, we'll have a whole list of other channels that we follow.
Yeah.
Normally following
Give them
us
some love, go check them out.
This one is, of course, Macabre Derek. But this will be the weekend right here when this one airs that Long Beach by Night had come back. We've come back with
LA by Night had shown.
And I keep forgetting the new one that they're doing that's the Bloodlines 2 prequel.
It's Vein of something, I forget.
Yes.
Vein Pursuit. It's the best
Vein
one.
Pursuit. Yes, great name. VEIN Pursuit. It's great.
Yeah.
That was another one that's coming as a prelude to Bloodlines, which is
I just
awesome.
know I'm gonna have to add that one to my catch up video on demand
because it's after. Well,
it starts at 2 a.m. my time.
Right. I'm gonna watch anyway. Don't give a fuck. The first one is after, but they're gonna shift it. They're gonna make it more European friendly after the first episode. I think the first, from what we've discussed in Gehenna Gaming, for people who know a little bit more on this than we do. They're doing the first episode of Vain Pursuit after LA by Night because that way they can roll from LA by Night fans directly to it to help get the word out.
Mhm.
And then they're going to make it, because it's a lot of European players,
Mhm.
more friendly to Europeans on Fridays, which means it'll probably be before LA by Night.
Yeah.
After the first week, which will be awesome.
Yeah.
Of course, if you want to, what we've done and you want to see our videos, we've got 60 days stored on Amazon, but we also
No,
are
not
on
Amazon,
Twitch. But you can go to YouTube.
Yep.
And watch all of our back
All
stories.
of our
All
episodes
of
are
it
there.
is in there, of course.
Mhm.
And if you like what we're doing, you want to show support, give us a follow. If you really want to show support, subscribe. If you want to hook up the players, bits work for that. We're finally going to maybe soon finally get the first disbursement. We'll be able to hand out money to the players about all the bits donations. It's not a lot, but hey, I give it to the players. I've always said that from the beginning. So
yeah.
And I'd like to thank you all for coming. And if anything you'd like to say, because our lovely special guest, she has anything she'd like to say, we can.
No, I just want more people to live tweet with me because it's awesome.
Oh, your live tweeting while you watch is amazing.
I know, we love you.
We
You
love
live
watching
tweet
you
while
live
you
tweet.
watch. You shout out the stream. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for being a fan.
Katie catches it after the fact where you're quoting Locke-isms like constantly.
Yeah.
She's hilarious. Like, I love Lily, but Locke has the best shit she says.
My favorite Locke-ism is still, if you want to be a criminal contact, sometimes you got to go out crime. So thank you all for watching. Thank you all for playing.
Thank you.
It was a great time. We can't wait to have you back. And everybody, good night.
Right.